coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. With the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
But hey, that's just a theory. A theory.
If you're violating YouTube's terms of service, you're gonna get penalized. Cry me a mother river.
Cry me a river, I'm crashing like a blimp. The only people doing this are me and all my simps. I'm twerking in the chair, that's how I know I'm sick. Now visit me in jail and tell me I'm a fucking dick.
He's a smee. He's a smee. He's a smee. He's a smig. Hey.
Power of 1, the power of 2, the power of...
Down to Papa Roach, bleed 182.
The power of 1, the power of 2, the power of...
No, I promise quick. So, a lot of you might not know, I do a panel stream every Monday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Smash actually does play games. So not this coming Monday, but next Monday, the guest of honor is Mike Pollock, which you might not know by name, but is the voice of Dr. Robotnik / Eggman. It's going to be wild. So, yes, come to my channel, Words of Paradise. We'll see you on the 24th because, I mean, who don't want to talk with fucking Eggman of all people?
President Trump? I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
You are what they call, what do they call it? A lol cow? Is that what they say? That is still the stupidest fucking word I've ever heard. A lol cow. Dude, this is...
Yahoo! With guns!
Hell yeah.
But it's a me, Mario!
Yeah, tell it to the judge.
It's astounding. This mortal really is something else. Look at that brilliant form. There can be no doubt. This is the true power, complete in all its majesty. This is Autonomous Ultra Incel. We're holding the gates for
Hello, hello, hello.
Good
We are
afternoon.
here.
Indeed.
Yay!
Slightly late,
Ah.
but it's all right.
Yeah, well,
These
you
things
know,
happen. These
tech
things happen.
issues and crises of confidence aside, we are here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing in between. Yo, 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 yo. It's WTF Live. Yeah. That's right, Mother Liquor's time to take out the trash and clean up all the latest and the not so greatest, freshly squeezed out bullshit from pop culture and politics. My name is Will, and this is Will of the Fans. Do you see what I did there? And today we got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots to talk about. So this will probably end up going about 5.5 hours as usual, instead of the standard 2. But we'll see how we do. As
That was
always, I'm
the,
joined. Go on, John.
That was the chrysalis form of the show, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
and
it's-
now we're a beautiful butterfly that takes forever to get to its destination. Hey,
Like 7-mile wide wings that take
That's
years
right.
to flap. Yeah, exactly. Yes, of course. I'm joined as always by problematic white guy, aka John, but also by our regular Zeris Rhoda, and of course nobody and guest of this particular episode, Osaka Chandol. And so we will begin with our intros. John, what's up?
Yes. Well, you know, I'm awesome as always. Got a little bit of a nap in after testing out the first 10-ish, 20-ish minutes of Stellar Blade, which was gifted to me.
It was gifted to me too. That's great.
yeah,
Shout out to
yeah.
No More Hearts. I cannot remember who that is on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah.
So whoever you are, if you're watching, please make yourself known because I
Yeah.
cannot remember.
Furious
Yeah.
Dan was going
no.
to gift it. Hold on. I'm doing my intro.
I don't know who.
I'm doing
like,
my intro, man.
No, I
Anyway,
want
go ahead,
I
go
want to
ahead.
point something out though. Like, I don't understand kind of what it is because remember, I'm still new to the scene. Like, I'm only like 3-4
Clearly.
months in. But no, myself and Smash JT, we were both gifted Stellar Blade by Mr. Rouge.
Yeah, he's an amazing cat.
All right.
He
Anyway,
really
John,
is.
carry on, mate.
All right. So yeah, Furious Dan was going to gift a copy to discuss thing, but they still have the region lock kind of thing, and I was like, it's like, damn, you can only send it to me, and oddly enough, he actually did. So, but it plays pretty nice for the first few minutes, and then for whatever reason, right after you get done with the first boss battle, it kind of went back to the main screen on my SteamOS. So
I'm
I gotta
glad that you
get
got
that
to the
sorted
first
out.
boss battle.
But,
I wasn't able to get
but,
past the beach last night.
yeah. Well, I mean, it technically, like, literally, like, shut off the game, and so I got to figure
Yeah,
out what's causing
same
the
here.
issue. So, but yeah. Other than that, though, I think we're off to a fun start, obviously already. So, LFG, I'll leave it
Professional
to,
broadcasters, mate.
right.
Professional broadcasters.
Yeah.
So professional.
How are you doing, Rhoda?
Me, I'm good. I'm really good. We got a visit from the friendly neighborhood cat this afternoon. Just randomly sauntered up and walked into the kitchen. So
As
that
we do.
was somewhat amusing. Yeah, and I'm really excited because I'm off to London tomorrow to see Pulp at the O2. So yeah, I'm kind of buzzing at the moment. Really, great time.
Cool. Which one was Pulp again?
Common People. This is Hardcore.
Jarvis Cocker.
Yeah.
Right. Not. What's the other one? I always confuse him with The Verve. Yeah.
Right.
No, not the same thing at all. Yeah, Jarvis Cocker. Yeah, fair enough, man. Actually, fun fact: my father knew his dad, Joe Cocker.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You cut out, man.
I cut out.
Yeah, everyone's cutting out.
Just
No,
briefly,
it
everyone
looks.
keeps
It's.
going,
I
chat.
swear to you, it is fine on the show. I have.
Chat. Is
I have
anyone
it-
cutting out for chat? Let us know if any of us are cutting out
Let me
because
have a-
we were trying to
Nope.
figure this out.
No, I'm watching the feed live on my phone, and it is perfectly stable. That is
Okay, if
first
the,
thing I checked when I got
if
in.
the feed is fine, then we're all fine. Like we might miss a word here or two. Then
Yeah, I'm just seeing
that's
everyone
all right.
keep refreshing.
Okay.
No issues from chat. Okay, good. That's
Good.
fine.
It's
We'll
just
be all
us.
right. If you have to drop out for a second because you're having issues and come back in, I'll obviously let you back in. But there you go. Good for you anyway, Rhoda. That sounds cool, man. It's really cool to go see bands, especially the ones that have been around for a while and they're still going and they haven't changed.
I mean, I've been going to see them since I was a kid, so I've kind of seen them evolve.
Right.
So
Okay.
It makes it really interesting.
Oh, and
Nice.
by the way, guys, like, I met, I was introduced to Rhoda like a week or two, about 2 weeks ago, and it wasn't until like 2 days ago I finally looked at like the stuff that he makes. Dude, check out his music. Holy shit! Like, honestly, skip me, man. Like, check out Rhoda. Holy fuck! Like, he makes some amazing music. I actually, at one point, I might DM him one day and be like, dude, could I like have this for like a song for an intro, man? Like, can you give me permission?
Oh, absolutely. Feel free, man.
Oh yeah, like, no,
you know that's scale.
seriously, like, check him out. Like, he does some amazing shit. Fuck, like, I wish I was as talented as this guy. He is so goddamn humble, but fuck,
I find that people who are actually
man
musical
can
are.
shred like a
I think
motherfucker.
it's true. People generally who are talented are quite humble about it. Like, I don't talk about the piano thing very often either, because it's a thing I can do that I don't feel like bringing up
You don't need
most
to
of the
seek
time.
validation. You already
No, like, I mean, you know, one time I got really, really drunk for like a week and wrote an opera. And it's like, you know, yeah, that's something I did, but is anyone ever going to hear it? Probably not. But there you go.
Hold
anyway,
on.
nobody, at risk of being here for
thank you
20
for that,
minutes,
man.
what's up
That's
with
really
you?
nice of you.
Oh, what's up with me? Well, there is a 88 keyboard under my bed that I just need to plug into a MIDI thing so I can actually make music with it. So yes,
There's
I
one about
also do
4
play the
feet from
piano
you.
and the guitar, and I sing.
Nice. Were you classically trained?
Classically, no.
Oh.
Naturally, but I was a musical theater major and all that jazz. But obviously that's not what I do now. It's helped clearly. But no, I've just been doing my own thing, trying to create content. I've been trying to do more live streams, and holy shit, Stellar Blade has not been a great experience. I couldn't even get past the first beach. That was a problem.
Why?
If we have time for that, I mean, I've seen the topics for the day. If we get into it, you know, one of those. But I'm very interested about Osaka-chan over there, because I know that she is new, at least in my eyes. So I'm very excited to hear what she has to say about all the talks that we have today.
Oh, yeah.
So
This
how
is
are you
actually
doing,
like her
Osaka-chan?
fourth appearance on the channel or something like that.
Time.
Oh,
Third time,
really? Oh, man, you've been like, I've heard about you, but you've been kind of escaping my radar. But I'm excited to talk with you today. I've heard
check out her
only.
channel. It's awesome. She
Yeah,
tells
you
these
should check
ghost
out my
stories
show,
and
my channel.
does music. I tell you about these things. People don't listen. To
So, Osaka, how are you?
I'm doing good, but fighting a really, really bad headache.
Oof, that sucks.
Rainy season just started, and so it's like the air pressure is really triggering it.
Ooh, that sounds awful. Yeah. Well, if you don't want to contribute too much, we won't hold it against you. So, you know, that's fine. But otherwise, is that everything you have for your intro? You don't want to tell us about your channels?
It's my intro. Okay, so I tell ghost stories, Japanese urban legends, Japanese ghost stories. I also like talk about facts about Japan, like festivals and foods and haunted places, stuff like that. And I also have my own music and music videos on there too.
Yeah, it's pretty
cool. Lovely.
Check it out.
All right. And there we go. And just like that, it was time to start the show. And yeah, so welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the mods. Welcome to the people who super chatted. Of course, if you want to say something to us and get a response, well, the easiest way to do that is to bribe us, frankly, with super chats, and we'll gladly address you. Or you can join the Grift Force and get your emojis and have fun spamming pictures of Lolissa or Gay Toi or everything else that's there.
Of course, Will. So by the way, this is my rule, not Will's rule. But every tier that we meet, so his first tier is $100. If we reach $100, then I wear the pink mask. If we get, what's tier 2, by the way?
Well, tier 1 technically is only 50.
Okay.
Tier 2 is 100.
Okay, well, if we hit
I'm not that big.
$50, then I wear the pink mask. If we get to tier 2, then I wear
Boobies.
the Yes Daddy mask. And if we hit tier 3, then
Which is-
I
don't
wear
even know how much that is.
Then I wear the gray. Let's just
Gandalf
call it
mask.
the gray mask.
The Gandalf mask.
The Gandalf mask, yes. So I follow the tiers of the channel. So please donate, because then you get to see me humiliate myself with every single mask, okay?
Beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now, of course, in the meantime, we do have some super chats that have already come in, so we're going to get to them. TJAP Steve came in for $2, says WTF operates on Rush News Time. He's never, ever going to let us go with that, is he? He's just forever, forever going to mock us for the fact that we used to have a segment on this show that was called Rush News. And the idea was that we would blitz through stories extremely quickly, try to get through like 5 or 6 in the first hour, and it never ever worked, not once. Every time we ended up having maybe 20 minutes left before the end of the show, before we would have to basically acknowledge that Rush News just wasn't going to work anymore, and the show was not.
Well, you
kind
have
of
to
show. More like,
be
Rush
and
Hour
John in a
News.
room. It's not going to go well.
But as soon as you played the animation the other day, we ended up going 4 hours. So everybody strap in. We're about to be here till,
doomsday.
Yeah.
There it is.
Just make sure we play that at the end of the show, just so the bit's complete,
Yeah, I'm not letting it go that long. I have another show I have to do in the morning, and I've actually missed the last couple because of literally just complications of my current situation here, having an old and crippled man who needs me at certain times of the night.
You do understand that we are here in the morning. It is 6:23 for me.
Yeah, it's 9:22.
You are
in
my
the
coffee
evening.
at this point.
It's 10:23 p.m. for me.
Yeah, it's even later for her. See, so there you go.
We are truly an international show.
Yeah.
Yep, the International Echo Chamber of professional arguers. Yeah, no, there it is. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Thank you very much, of course, TJAB Steve. And yes, 5 hours later. 5 hours later. Thank you for the $2, buddy. Appreciate it. DramaticaLaur for Australian 2, training her laser sights on nobody as always, because I think she's got a little bit of a hate white on for him. Says, nobody trained actor, no, trained interrupter. Ooh, discuss.
Ooh. Discuss what?
I invited him on a show. I invited him on a show with Toasty. We took his, his streaming virginity. So he's just kind of been in the deep end ever since. So he just assumes that he has to step in as quickly as possible. Otherwise,
I have been getting better. I have been getting better.
John was no different when he started.
Yeah.
I think we all were the same when we first started.
Because you see, here's what I think what the progression is that you start silent, and then because you're trying to listen to everybody, trying to accumulate to everyone, and then you're like, oh, I'm the silent one, and you see the comments, and then like, oh, this person's very silent, and then you have
when you overcompensate.
Then you overcompensate, and then you like, oh, this guy's a loudmouth, and then you undercompensate, and then eventually you're like,
you know what? Maybe I should just not pay attention to what people say because I'm just
exactly.
me. Yeah.
And then once you get to the place where you go, oh, I can just say what I can want to say, and as long as you're listening to everybody and being respectful, then and being yourself, then
I think
that's
Pretty much
that's
as soon
sweet
as
spot.
as long as you don't like call the entire show into question with like massive racial slur bombs or something like that, you're basically going to be fine.
I think the thing that helps.
Well,
is either
I
having-
vehemently believe that gingers should be
He
eradicated
is an
from this
interrupter.
world. I don't know how you feel about that, Will, but
Well, obviously, when the revolution comes, I will have to destroy you all. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. No, I think
Yeah,
what
keep
happens
doing-
is
I keep like
That's for
kind
me.
of.
You don't destroy
I'm
me.
so used to moderating the stream that I keep forgetting that I'm actually on the show and just
this
concentrating
is
on
going to be
chat.
quite the show today.
It's going to be a great one. Yeah.
I think happens is once you have your own show or you're on so many shows that you're able to actually just kind of express yourself. Every little thought that you have, eventually just get to the point where you're like, I'm just gonna wait till
Some of these don't matter that much, you know.
yeah, I've been doing that myself. If you and it's by the way, Will, I've been doing it myself recently. Without any host, where I'm the host of everybody. It's a lot harder than it looks. So if I ever have John on, which I either want John or Arza on. So if I'm not here, by the way, Arza would be an amazing guest for you. He is
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I take all recommendations. Yeah, you just reach out.
have Arza on.
He is good.
Cool,
He is good. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I very rarely have time to discover new talent and bring it on because I'm just super fucking busy.
Dude,
outside of this.
no.
But we are supposedly having, as
A
far as I'm
show.
aware, a real life fake wizard on Tuesday, which will be really cool because I'm a fan of his
Wait,
work.
what? Are you having Fake Wizard on Tuesday?
Yeah, you want to join?
Hell yeah, I
Cool.
want to join.
Yeah, I reached out to him and he said, "Sure, cool." All right.
I used to
Yeah.
set all the guests for reality based, which is part of the reason why we have Rhoda doing live streams.
Yeah.
Nobody
And
doing lives. I've just about invited.
And Ryan was the
Most
booker
of-
for this show before you became the booker for his show, and it's just sort of the way it goes. And and that's great because I've never had time to do this, and it is just the nature of the beast. And this is the thing that happens with this show as well. Now that we've kind of loosened the intensity of the structure a little bit, we end up talking about like being a YouTuber for the first half of almost every episode now, and I don't even care because everybody's different when you talk about like hosting. I'm genuinely not that bothered if we talk about. I like reality and passion and like the true the personalities to shine through. So if we end up talking about something for like half an hour, it's because we give a shit about it. Whereas some people are going to be different. They're going to be like, stick to the topics, don't fucking deviate too much. We got a docket to get through. But
I gotta
those
make
tend to be the
videos
bigger
out of this
channels.
thing, and
Timestamps and things like that. And also then there's like channels where they get like 300 super chats an episode, and they have to get through them too. So there's a lot of reasons for it. But for this show, I like to have kind of a free-form discussion that's loosely. So what I'll do now, instead of having like rigid timestamps and templates, is okay, let's talk about this topic. And here's like 3 articles I found. We could discuss
we're like
all of them.
jazz now.
Which
we
actually
know
is
the
much
general.
better.
Yeah, we know the general structure, but it's going to be different every time you play.
My upbringing was at jazz festivals, so it actually works for me better.
Oh yeah, no. The other week, it was so fucking weird because Will just mentioned randomly that there was this game that was propaganda for Russia, and
Oh, we
I
went on that one.
Yeah,
40 minutes.
I just put in the private chat. I'm like, by the way, I found the trailer. And we spent like 30 minutes
Spent an inordinate amount of time just criticizing a Russian propaganda game trailer.
It was so bad.
I like that shit though, and a lot of people like that as well. Like, you never know what you're gonna get. You never know what this show's gonna evolve into or how long it's gonna be. So, fuck it. We can promise you at least 2 hours.
At least 2 hours, yeah.
And I've seen what the show notes are already, and we're already 24 minutes in. This is gonna be probably
It's gonna be a show.
It's gonna be a show.
And we were 4 minutes late starting as well because we were late and gay. So there we go.
But remember,
Anyway,
guys, if you want the pink mask, get the $50 in, and if you want the Yes Daddy mask, get the $100, and if you want the gray
You also
beard
get-
mask, Just we got to get there, man.
Just double the fucking tier. That'll do. Double the bar and you get the gray mouse. Anyway, the other thing, of course, is the boobas. You get the booba video, the objectively best booby video on the internet today.
Yes.
For filling the bar. So don't forget about that as well. Get to laugh at John Coonan.
Our little anime friend to my left here. We haven't asked about her yet.
Yeah, we have.
She's one. Yeah. She's one of the only people that I've
I
met.
mostly tell ghost stories, urban legends, make my own music and stuff like that, music videos, facts about Japan. I made up to 402 subscribers, so 100 more and I get to go like live and monetize and stuff.
Guys, subscribe to Osaka-chan doll. She's absolutely adorable.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of the few people I've met here on the interwebs that met me and instantly actually like befriended me and was like, "Hey, can I help you out?" So yeah.
Yeah, I know you two. You two have been working together for a while. Huh?
All right. Well,
we had a long conversation about Doctor Who.
Oh, I just realized I actually have my lights down because of my video yesterday.
No, you look the same as you always do.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Fine, dude.
All right, DramaticaLaur, thank you very much for the $2. Anime Mania 500, gifting a membership to the GRIFT Force. So some lucky person out there. Congratulations. And T-Jep Steve for 5 says, "Sing us a song. You're the..." Oh God, I'm getting Sammy 3P
Sing us
flashbacks.
a song, you're the piano man.
No, I'm getting flashbacks to Speargate.
Dude,
because even though Speargate
really?
was the big thing that happened that episode, there was also Sammy 3P changing the word piano to colored.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
And that was the thing that nobody even mentioned or noticed.
A couple people went after him. But no, it was the spear chuck. Like I would have said that was way worse than the spear chucker thing, but hey, it is what it is.
You would think.
Yeah.
And then
it sounds like it was a time. It's kind of like when someone.
Well, it was
a spurg out for
roast. It was a roast at Abu Bakr Salim using his race and his father's death, sadly, to sell his video game, and that was what it was. We were like, okay, so if you're going to do that, we might as well just dial it up to 11, which is what we always do, which is why we get accused of being racist.
Yeah.
So there was.
And then it was a spurg out response for the sake of
honestly, weirdly enough, I know I'm outside looking in, and I know I'm late to the party on this, but honestly, it was kind of a good thing.
Speargate was the best thing that happened to that show. It put us all on the map. But there you go. And for better or worse, it brought a lot of attention to many of us. But anyway, sing us a song in the Piano Man, sing us a song tonight. I can't do Billy Joel unless it's Uptown Girl or the a cappella one that he did with his own voice where he sings harmonies.
Uptown Girl.
What's that one? So if you said goodbye to me tonight, that one.
If you say
that's the one. That's really
tonight.
The Longest Time, that's what it's called. The Longest Time. That's a good one. Piano Man is wildly overrated, though. Wildly overrated. But there you go. Anyway, that's my opinion, and it's mine to have. And you can disagree if you want, but I'm objectively correct. Thank you.
Well, it's okay. You're Ginger, and Disney exists, so you don't.
I'm also a classically trained pianist. I can outplay Billy Joel. So there's that too. Furious Dan for $2 says, "How you guys doing today?" Well, disorganized and in total disarray as always. Thank you very much, Furious Dan.
Still around.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I hope he is still around. They can get bored and buggered off by now. But yeah, thank you on behalf of John for gifting the game and for everything you've gifted to me as well, buddy.
And if you don't know who Furious Dan is, that man is the fucking like
he's a monkey with a gun.
Osaka, what did you say?
I was asking John if I met Furious Dan on Toasty's channel.
Oh, cool. Right.
That man is a grinder. I will just say that. Would I ever have him on my channel? Absolutely not.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
No, I would never have him on my channel. Not once. But I love talking with him. but I'm just more careful because everyone views me as a Smash JT clone, and I have to be more careful than way more people. Than
I don't know. Smash JT's like a teddy bear. I don't think anyone could emulate what Smash JT is. He's just him.
No. Okay.
But anyway,
I can't
anyway, forget it. Let's just
say a
move on.
lot.
Let's move past this.
Let's just move
That's why I was
We're half
asking
an hour in.
if I was asking John if I met Furious Dan on Toasty's channel before.
Possibly. Do you remember seeing a Puerto Rican dressed up as Ralph Macchio or a
He
furry?
was talking about the stain on the ceiling.
Yeah. Possibly, yes. That very well could have been him. Yeah. Was he in Dan
Fun
or
fact,
furry?
Furious
furry
Dan's
Dan?
actually the only guest there's ever
He had a
been.
cute
on my channel.
doggy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, okay, that was definitely Dan. He was in furry mode then.
The hell was that? Someone burp.
I heard it, but I don't know where it come from.
Hold on. I would have Fierce Dan not on YouTube. I would have him on exclusive Rumble and Kickstream. I would not have...
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
How would you have
Will.
him?
I hate you so much.
I know. He says he needs a beer. He's bored. Work sucks. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Go get a beer. Fuck it. You're probably competent enough at your job. You can do it under the influence a little bit. Whatever. That, by
put
the
it
way,
in a flask.
that's not legal advice. By the way, that's just my ad hoc.
That's your
recommend-
non-pederast legal counsel and healthcare advisory.
For legal reasons,
I'm
for the
not
rest
a
of the
doctor.
stream, any speculation is
Just
not
that.
legal advice. It's
Just
only
that.
speculation.
Exactly. Furious Dan again says Mr. Nobody is a horrible singer. That one got 8 likes. Woof.
On
Fierce
information
Dan.
and belief, you might want to tone down the singing.
This one's not for me. It's for him. So you can answer it.
You do you want to go down that road? Do you really want to go down that road? Like, we can do this on a different stream, but
Again,
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
I had no choice. Thank you again, Furious Dan. And again, that's because I'm nuts, Mr. Nobody. Again, not to me, to you.
how do you
Fuck
feel
I think
about
you
those
made
nuts?
someone pee their
Yeah.
pants.
Yeah.
Just
How do you,
kidding.
how do you
Just
feel about those
flipping you
nuts,
off.
nobody?
You made someone pee their pants.
You like these nuts? Oh, yeah, I bet. It's DramaticaLaur. She pees
Yeah.
herself every day.
well, guess
Yeah,
what,
a
Fierce
little bit.
Dan?
Too much apple juice.
Will's the one making the money off of your hatred. Oh, well, not hatred, but like this really fun.
We do support the fan-funded Flame War. Any channel that
Yes.
you see me appear on, by all means, please strap
And
some
by the
money
way,
to a
I
brick,
love
throw
Dan.
it to,
I
throw it
just-
to your
I just
screen,
would
and we will read it
never
out
have
for
him on my
you
channel.
immediately.
I would no. I would have
One at a
Sean-
time, guys. Come on.
I know.
I would have
really.
John on my channel any day of the week. I would never have Dan on my YouTube channel whatsoever.
Hear that, John? He wants you on his channel.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
Am I being overplayed here, Will? Am I being overplayed?
I don't know.
Well, it's your show.
Couldn't possibly comment. MagesGuild for $2 sent status info and latest abomination image by XDM. Okay, I'll get to that in a second, but thank you very much, and I'll check it out and get back to you. Thank you
Yeah,
very
I
much,
have no
Mages
idea.
Guild. By the way, welcome back, Mages Guild. I know you've been going through it a bit lately, and just good to see you in the chat again, mate. Appreciate it. Lastly, TJab Steve for $2 says, "Did Furious Dan just offer nobody D's nuts?" It sort of sounded like it, but I was trying to sort of skirt over it.
You know, I'm kind of trying to realize why I'm here now is apparently you just get more donations just based on the puns.
No, I like you. I think you're cool. I think you're a decent dude, and you're on the stream because of that. And then people in the chat seem to just want to pay me to hate on you. That's just a extra bonus, really.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just happy to be here and to meet all of you all.
It's
Indeed.
lovely,
Yes,
isn't it?
we
Osaka's the
appreciate you
best
as well.
on the show as well. But yeah, no, I appreciate nobody being here as well too, because like all of a sudden, like I've never seen so much praise in a single chat for me. Like
I know,
ever.
right?
Compared to
Wait,
Dan.
hold on. Are we at $50 yet? Are we almost there?
No, not quite. Not quite. Maybe
Okay.
halfway.
Okay.
But we'll get there soon.
Remember,
Uh,
guys, there's the pink mask here that I get to wear if you donate more.
He gets to look like a walking, talking tampon. That's pretty
I
neat.
know, right?
looks like
Yeah.
animal without the drum kit. Yes, that, and I'll get to that. Sorry, that wasn't the one I was supposed to be replying to, which was TJ Steve. And yeah, I think he did, but I guess we'll have to find out. We'll see. Watch this space. We're not even at topics yet.
40 minutes.
Here it is. Furious Dan again for $2 says, I'm crazy, Mr. Nobody. Crazy or crazy for?
Well, he has said many times that he wants to vote me in as president. So, yeah.
Okay. Nobody for president.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
sounds
there's a whole meme
kind of
about it.
communist, actually, doesn't it? Nobody for president. Sounds extremely communist to me. But okay. But thank you very much for the extra $3.
I guess Dan would
And
be the
again-
staff aid position in the blue dress.
Says he's had his fun and he's going back to work. You hear that, nobody? You were used. You were used. Now he's going back to work. You have to get yourself a taxi home.
Yeah. Money's on the
Okay.
nightstand.
Then I guess I've used up my
He's leaving.
usefulness.
He's leaving. Don't
yeah.
leave.
Um,
Don't leave.
Nobody
Ah.
exists. Only J Watt does. I guess I've.
Oh God. DramaticaLaur is about to explode. Oh no. That was literally nobody. All right, whatever. Says I like Will much more. Mr. Nobody, show the teddy. I don't know how you're gonna do it. You're gonna have to move the microphone and conduct the entire stream from sitting next to your chair. now.
Teddy is still here.
Yeah, you're gonna need to get like a stick dowel or something that you can like.
You need to watch out.
Now
Nobody.
he goes
There's no
over
way
the
he
green
can. He can't even hear us. He's taking off his headset. But I guarantee he's
I can
doing.
hear you.
He's doing funny little things to DramaticaLaur right now. I guarantee it by taking off the mask. There it is,
I've
Lady
already been
Bricks.
doxxed.
Hey, you do whatever you want, man. Anyway, it's time we talked about something other than ourselves. So let's talk about Doctor Who. Apparently, it is now official that Disney Plus is not renewing Doctor Who. And
No way.
I believe I can speak for everybody here when I say, duh.
Right. The only thing that would make it better is if Disney Plus didn't return. In general.
Yeah. Goodbye, Disney Plus. Yeah. We'd
Well,
have to
they're
find
losing,
somewhere else to watch.
Hashtag cancel Disney Plus. Which we'll do when Wizard's here as well.
Yeah, I bet. But yeah, no, obviously this is the most nothing burger of a story for quite a while now.
Yep.
Any one of us could have told you this was going to happen a year ago. They spent $100 million on 26 episodes of TV, 21 of them have aired, and they have been the lowest rated episodes in the show's history.
Pretty terrible.
Yeah, just even looking at the ratios, just in general, like even if they what just in general, they would have had to hit 6 million, just roughly, in order to make those numbers even try to make sense. I would say that 8 million would have been the sweet spot, but 6 million. But we're at 1.5 to 2.3 throughout the entire season, right? If I'm not mistaken.
The average is like 2.2 or something like that for the or like 2.1 for the whole series. Of overnights. It's like 3.
Well, I was going from lowest to highest. Like, what was the lowest to the highest? Because I've been on the show.
1.5 was the official lowest, and they keep trying to report that as 1.6. and then the 2.57 was sandwiched in between the football game and
Yeah.
the music show.
Yeah, that's the freak of the series. If they didn't have the FA Cup final and the Eurovision Song Contest happening, like 2 annual events bookending Doctor Who that particular day, 2 things that one of them gets people out into pubs and gets every pub owner to put the TV on and then forget to change the channel, and the other one makes people stay at home and flip the TV on half an hour early. So Doctor Who benefited from all of that. It was absolutely tactical and it worked. But it is also completely irrelevant because the rest of the data is far more pathetic than that. So, hey, congrats. You managed to drag the average up a few points, but you didn't actually manage to make a realistic difference to the overall average of the show.
Yes.
If it weren't for that episode, the average would be several points lower, but it's still the lowest ever. So, congrats. Unless they pulled like 7 million overnight viewers, they were never going to make an actual difference to the average for this entire series. So fuck them. Yeah. It turns out that Daniel Richmond, who has been very noisy about Doctor Who lately, said Doctor Who is only dead at Disney. So it's deceptive because the headline says, oh, it's not coming back to Disney. So that makes you think, okay, so it's felted then. But actually it's basically a Cope quote where he says Doctor Who is only dead at Disney, but there are active talks to revive it elsewhere and things are looking promising. I know,
No,
right?
Amazon doesn't want it either. They went to both Amazon and Disney, and both of them told them they want the old episodes of Doctor Who, not this season. The current Doctor
Exactly.
Who.
No
Yeah,
one wants
and
current
they
Doctor
refused
Who.
them. They said, well, we don't want it then.
Yeah, and I believe with Disney taking over production, that's why they started with Series 1 and Series 2. Those are locked at Disney, and nobody's going to ever miss them. So if it does end up it will just kind of be like the only good thing about this is with all that shit happening over at Disney, they could take our good idea and say, yeah, none of that actually happened, but drop the money truck in front of Peter Capaldi's house and leave him the keys. That's all I'm saying.
That would basically be it. Yeah. And this also could be a split because of Disney's stake in it. If they wanted to move it to another streaming service, they would have to pay Disney.
Yeah.
Which means that there are now 2 Doctor Who's.
Yeah.
Well, hold on,
for,
1 second.
The lowest received.
You could argue that Doctor Who
seasons ever.
buy generated at the end of the Whittaker run. It buy generated into 2 different Doctor Who's. One that's owned partially by Disney.
I was gonna go with a different thing of like I have a question with how expensive Doctor Who was this season, even like the last 2 seasons.
Something like £7 million an episode.
Let's call it the Disney season then.
You know, Will, I almost feel that we have a clip that might explain the situation that we don't normally get to play more and more
Hold
these
on,
days
I do have a
about,
question.
the Black
Will-
Doctor Who being someone's possession.
Will or John could probably answer this question. How much did Disney spend on Doctor Who?
Disney spent $100 million on 2 seasons, or specifically 26 episodes.
Okay,
which made up. Wait. It made up 3 David Tennant specials, the 2 Christmas specials, and 2 seasons of 8 episodes, which totals 21.
Well,
the
I have a
remaining
question.
5 is a spin-off show called The War Between the Land and the Sea that has not aired yet. And to answer John's point, yes, Disney are acting like they own Shooty Gatwa.
I'm your master. You are my possession. Don't raise up on me. I'm all set. I'm all set.
No, but I have a question.
So the
and-
War Between the Land and the Sea is actually still coming out then?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean they got it in the can. They
But
might as well
my
do it.
question is, how with Disney coming in, how much did the no, not the BBC.
The U.S.
How
spent
much
close
did the
to
British?
$100 million U.S.
Yeah.
on the Doctor Who. For
That's what it
everything.
is. Yeah. So you're
But-
looking at roughly $4 million per episode.
Yeah.
4 to 5.
Well, how much did that come out of British taxpayers though?
None. That's from Disney.
Nothing. It's all from Disney.
Yeah.
The British taxpayer is
hold
not
on,
paying the license fee anywhere near as much as they used to because they can't scare us anymore because we we don't use
well,
the
that's
BBC and
terrestrial
we don't
TV,
use
yeah.
terrestrial broadcast
but
television.
no,
we use
like
the internet
but
to
if
watch
you
things
have
like YouTube and
$100
Netflix.
million coming in, that should have saved the taxpayers some money, right?
No,
Or
of course not. Why would the BBC ever
was
give up
Yep, that's
trying
my
to fleece
point.
people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, the BBC is going to collect those funds regardless whether Doctor Who airs or not. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they did for decades.
Yes.
Yeah, because Disney is also paying for the name of it. So
Yeah.
Yep. And it's the worst investment ever because they paid $100 million for Doctor Who.
Yeah,
And
that's
what
my
they
point.
ended up buying was the worst rated 2 series of Doctor Who ever.
Right. And quite honestly, the only reason they're bringing out War Between Land and the Sea is, I mean, they're going to
It's
put
Russell
out
T. Davis, isn't it?
Right. I mean, they're putting out Ironheart, and nobody even at Marvel wants that to come out at this point, and it's still going to show up on Disney
I
because they
still
got it in
laugh
the
that
can.
they kept that name. Ironheart is a porno here in Japan.
It started up. That was where they got the
It
name
started
from.
here in Japan. So it's really funny when they did that.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is, Riri Williams' outfit is very similar to the porno. Some of the porno ones like a lot more form fitting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious.
That's
They
actually not
stole
my
it.
question.
They stole Ironheart from a porno, though. They did.
Totally.
Wholesale.
Japanese porno.
Yep.
What-
course they
how
did.
mu- Well, the thing is, they say hiatus, and the thing is, Doctor Who, no matter what, I think is a British institution, and especially at this point, it
Not
is
anymore.
an international institution to a certain
I don't
extent.
know. Rhoda, what do
To a
you
certain
think?
extent now, to a certain extent, especially
Does
in the last
Doctor Who
decade.
does Doctor Who still classify as a British institution for you, Rhoda?
Well, it
yes,
is.
but the last couple of series don't classify as Doctor Who.
That's true. Doctor Who, as it was, is a British institution.
Well,
Doctor Woke is a globalist institution.
Yes, but that's what I'm kind of leading up to is how much are they going to pay for Stephen Moffat to come back?
They're not, because he's not interested.
Yeah.
Technically, Russell T. Davis is still the showrunner. He hasn't officially quit.
Oh,
or been fired.
I think he's going to get fired.
I think he should, but you'd be surprised how hard it is to fire a massive puff in this day and age.
Especially,
I
yeah.
think it's going to
when you're
take
talking
time,
about
but
somebody
he is
who's-
going to get fired.
He's part of
No,
the
no, I
Velvet
I think
Mafia.
it'll just end up
It's-
being one of these situations where everybody's pointing a gun at each other and nobody can move.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Mexicans
so
stand
Well,
up.
nothing's
I don't
actually
think he's
going
going
to
to get
happen. It's
fired.
just
I think he's going to get
nothing's gonna happen.
replaced.
And he'll probably
It
get
won't
replaced by
officially
someone
be
worse,
cancelled,
like
but
Juno.
It will never be made.
And then then we'll just. I mean, I don't expect this getting better.
No, it's not.
In the climate of
But it is
today's
funny,
world
though.
in corporate spaces.
It is funny that they are actively looking to revive it elsewhere, especially because previously they said they would carry on making it even without Disney.
Yeah.
Fuck
Which
it.
we
Let's
assumed,
do it again.
perhaps
You do a better
falsely,
job.
perhaps erroneously, we assumed that meant that they would actually start making it themselves again. But of course,
you have a
BBC
article from
doesn't.
the Rainbow Times.
I know,
Oh my
yeah.
word, I just noticed the Radio Times logo. I feel
Yeah,
sick.
no, I didn't. I mentioned it in a video I made earlier. The fucking ludicrous bend the knee cuckoldry of the Radio Times, the Gadio Times right
Just
now.
let people live their lives. No reason to make a
I
whole
think that
bunch out of
I
this
think they're
exactly.
going to hire an American.
What?
I honestly think that the BBC, once they get their shit together, I think that they're going to hire an American.
Well, that's
to be
not
a
going to endear
showrunner.
themselves any better to their British audience, to be quite
No.
honest.
And the show, unless the show is firing on all cylinders in Britain, it's not got a chance in hell overseas.
Yeah.
Well,
Quite
what I'm
literally,
saying
the
is
core of the
that I
show.
think that they're in a corner to the point that they are going to do something drastic. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying American in the sense.
I
of-
don't know. I mean, they've been doing drastic stuff for years now, and not just drastic, but desperate, and it does.
Erratic, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not helping. So they can
Nope.
continue to act out and be
No,
reactionary.
but what
and
I'm
only
saying is
make
that
the problems even worse. You know.
Well, no.
So-
What I'm saying is that they'll go to what works.
They already tried that. That's what David
No,
Tennant
they
was.
didn't. No, they didn't.
That's
They did. They
did.
tried the nostalgia thing already.
yeah.
No,
and then they bookend it with Billy
that's
Piper.
not-
They're trying it again with Billy Piper,
When I-
yeah.
No. When I say what works. I mean, literal in a sense, not nostalgia bait, but people that actually make good shows.
You seem to be very high-minded on them being able to turn this around.
Oh,
I just don't see
oh
it being
no. Do I
possible.
think they're gonna turn this around? I'm saying if they're smart, they'd get someone like
I know they're not smart. First of all, they need to hire competent writers who actually know how to do character development and storytelling.
Yeah.
Not just I'm gonna do this just to push a political agenda.
Right.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Like, and this.
But
is my
I mean, this is a
controversial take on it.
conversation from 8 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lifetime too late to be having this conversation.
Yeah, and controversially enough, like, if they would actually had decent, good writers and actually had like a reason for the Doctor to have been either a woman or a gay, hinted at black version of himself, which again is kind of irrelevant to the point of Doctor Who. But if the writing were actually decent and good, I'd be willing to give it an actual legitimate chance. But this was all just virtue signaling and just agenda baiting and all this kind of insanity.
And they do have the main fact that it's supposed to be a family-oriented show. Not a show about the Doctor always trying to get banged to any type of guy that walks on the screen.
Right.
Yeah, which is what happened in that Rogue episode, which is still probably the most low point of the entire series.
Right.
At this point, like when he just literally abandons everything to go and chase some cock.
Yep.
It's pathetic.
Yeah, I'm trying to assume that the BBC will eventually get smart, but I know that they
The BBC hasn't been smart in a long time.
BBC's never been smart. The
12
BBC has always been a socialist organization. They were one of the first dominoes to fall when the grand social.
When my favorite
Marxist
Doctor
agenda
went
took over.
from when my favorite Doctor went from David Tennant to Peter Capaldi,
That's because Peter Capaldi's the shit.
Yeah,
But,
he
but
is.
you know, Will, how you were talking about like you wanting to have a Cockney Doctor Who.
Cockney
I mean,
wanker.
technically, like, I was going to say, technically, you could almost argue that had he caught up with Rogue, he would have been a Cockney.
Excellent.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
Damn it. So the last thing I want to talk about Doctor Who is the pathetic cope. And it's not just the cope of saying, oh, it's not coming back to Disney Plus, but maybe it'll appear on Amazon or Hulu or something. No, it's this. They are now the fuck Disney party has begun. The grand tour of media throwing Disney under the bus to try and save Doctor Who's reputation has begun. So they're trying to say Disney's demands for only 8 episodes instead of 10 or 13, coupled with the apparent mandatory need for 4K, is what actually destroyed Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with the agenda. Nothing to do with any. This is like the kind of shit that they say about Star Wars and Marvel. Like,
It's just
okay, so
them
now it's
coping.
okay.
They
Yeah,
don't
it's
want to tell you
coping.
the real truth. They just want to say, look at the mirror, look at the smoke. Don't look behind the curtain. Don't see the truth.
Yeah. It's like, hey, the fact that the Doctor became a sexual predator who chases men around in the 19th century trying to score some alien cock has nothing to do with it. It's to do with 4K, everybody.
You are
Yeah.
coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth that it's scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
And there you
honestly, I honestly, Will, yeah, you're absolutely right. So are you. It's.
Oh, second.
I'm sorry.
It is. It's coping and seething. That's all it is. They're just any excuse. And this is the same thing we see with everything, with Star Wars, with Marvel, with
Because
everything.
they don't want to admit they did wrong. They don't want to admit that, oops, yeah, we really ticked off the fans by telling them to go run out and touch grass, and then they never came back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in the end, it was the Doctor who was found laying on the grass and getting
Yeah.
the boot.
Looking like he's getting reamed at the time as well.
You know,
The
it's kind of
funniest thing-
very, it's kind
Go
of
on.
very interesting where if you look at the views just in general, it kind of weird how the Doctor views like the Doctor Who views are almost exactly, if not more, equivalent to the Critical Drinker.
Yeah.
Will the fans?
Yeah.
And,
I mean, as our views go
Neurotic.
up, as our views go up, they go
Weird
down.
How those are equivalent, if not more.
Well, I mean, it's exactly what
altogether.
happened to me when I saw Jodie for the first time. The first thing I did was go, "This is so fucking awful. I can't stand to watch it anymore."
Yeah.
So I'm going to go looking to see if anyone else feels the same way I do, and that's
Yeah,
how
that's
I
how we
discovered
first
these things.
met. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think it's like when Jodie came in, I was sympathetic to because I know that she was being used, and then I
Because
saw
you're
her.
a leftist.
But then I saw
Yeah.
her interviews, and she just didn't
Leftist.
understand. Then she didn't understand. Why aren't boys looking up to me? Why aren't boys looking up to me?
Well, it's probably got something to do with the fact that she said that the show was too preoccupied with appealing to the male gaze, and that's gay with a ZE, not a YS.
Not the fact that he
Oh,
kind of called all men
weird how the
toxic.
viewers went down.
What was that, Saka?
That she also kind of criticized all male behavior as being toxic.
Yep. That's the first time I ever heard toxic being used to describe men. It's the same old story. It's the same story every time. We bring political shit. You guys don't watch. Then we have to do everything we can and blame everything we possibly can to avoid ever acknowledging the very simple and most obvious Occam's razor level simplistic truth. We fucked it with politics that you don't care about.
And that is ultimately why the female doctor did not work, is because rather than it actually having to do anything with the story, it was just a whole bunch of, well, now I'm the best version of me that I've ever been because
I've had an
vagina.
Yeah, that was exactly my exact switch off point was when Jodie Whittaker's doctor turned around and said that she got an upgrade.
Yeah,
Right.
and to Stephen
Yeah, I mean,
Fry,
that-
of all people, as well.
That made me really quite angry.
Yeah, like, do you
doctor is
guys
a
remember?
man.
Do you guys
I've had an
remember
upgrade.
when the master became Missy? I didn't give two shits. I was like, oh my god, this is like a fucking like different kind of beast. Now,
I thought it was
like,
cool, but I also
and-
said
but-
this is
I
great.
it was
Doctor.
chosen the
She was a
water.
really good character.
Yeah, because it switched the dynamic. But what they try to do instead is like when they came to like so the
Oh, yeah,
master
and if they coulda
gets
kept
to
it at that
be
level-
the master gets to be the more interesting character, but the doctor version of a female is just the typical fucking like girl boss.
Nah, like
that-
we
I'm like,
literally,
what
I
the
said
fuck is
at the
this?
time, I said to my friend who got me into Doctor Who in the first place, I said, yeah, it's cool, but you know they're
now.
going to do it with the Doctor
Yeah.
next.
Yeah,
This is
and
what
they were
they're doing.
testing the water. That's
And he was like,
exactly-
no, they'll never do that. They'll never do that. I'm like, you bet.
Well,
You
no,
wanna
that's not
fucking
my
bet.
point. The
It was a
things,
harbinger
Will,
of
you're
things
absolutely
to
right.
come.
What I'm saying is that in regards to like the master when it became Missy or the mistress or what, whatever, it still felt like the same intentions. It still felt like the same character, just in a different way.
Right. But that's
Well,
because
that's
the
'cause
story
Moffat was writing it.
But
yeah, and
Moffat was doing what he was
the intention
told.
was
He was
still on
doing
the
it
good
in
on the intention was
story
still on the
first.
writing at that point.
No, because this
not
is like-
the agenda and the
the-
numbers of
what's it called?
people and, the crowd that they were searching for.
No, but then when it came to Jodie Whittaker and Tucci Booty or whatever the fuck his name is, because I don't give a fuck, because no one gives a fuck.
Shitty gay twat.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is, no
He's
one
acting.
would have given a shit if the doctor was a female. No one would have if they would have actually treated the doctor like the doctor.
Yeah, and no one would have cared if he was black, as well as like I say, as long as there's like actually substantially good writing, we could deal with quite a bit. But neither of these divergences had anything to do with Doctor
There would
Who.
have still been a criticism of the changing because it would be obviously
Well, no,
done
that-
for political reasons. But if the writing was still good, then no one would have cared.
They could have had Doctor Who as a girl or gay or whatever. The thing was that ticked everyone off is that they changed his personality. He was no longer behaving like the Doctor. He was hurting people. He was constantly being horny. He was letting his sidekick get hurt. He didn't care if they
Exactly.
died. The
Right.
Doctor doesn't act like that. Doctor is
No.
selfless, not selfish. It's not look at me, I'm the Doctor. He doesn't do that.
which is what
The-
Gat
And
was
that's what they
Doctor
made
is.
the
Speedy
best
Gat
way
was
that
it.
the best way that I describe the Doctor, he is Superman with a screwdriver, and that's his only power. That is intellect,
That is intellect. Yeah.
and he is
Well, his intellect, because he's been around the universe for hundreds of years.
yeah, he knows he forgets more than he even remembers, and he remembers more than he forgets. And
Well,
he is
This
someone
one, they
that's
just like
always
dumbed him
contemplating.
down. Even the script, like he did not sound intelligent at all as the Doctor.
No.
You know, like
No.
it's like they made him stupid.
Well, the thing is, like, even if you look
He's
at all,
emotional.
no,
A bit
I'm
too
gonna
much.
interrupt you, man. But the thing is, if you look at
Oh yeah, he
all
was
the
a
other doctors,
crybaby.
if
He
you look
kept
at
running
all
around.
the other doctors,
All right.
all the other doctors never gave a shit about gender, not once.
No,
They
of
didn't
course
care
not.
about sexuality either. They weren't
It-
around trying to get
it was about-
banged every
because
single
it was about
episode, and they weren't
saving-
crying.
Because
Right.
it was about saving lives.
And
Exactly.
20
It
years
wasn't
ago,
about
neither did Russell T.
crying.
Davis, but we
Exactly.
live in
Well,
a
he
different
did, but
time
he
that's
didn't.
motivated by, WF United Nations kind of corruption, and it's
Yep.
pushing an identity politic war so that people don't focus on what's actually behind it. sit here
And
get
by the
caught up in this
way,
kind of
it's
stuff.
very easy to cry, you fucking goddamn shitty actor.
Now,
It
you
takes
can't
Okay.
say
a minute.
Amber Heard can't do it.
I don't know.
I can do it right fucking now.
Okay.
No, it's not that
No.
hard. You fucking no. Wait,
You
no,
have emotions.
like no. I guarantee you. Once Russell T. Davis found out that he can cry in less than like a minute and a half, he was like, "Oh, we need to use this." I fucking guarantee it,
Yeah, I
because
found that
a
out
lot
in
of
the casting
actors
movie.
in the fucking film industry, it takes them 5 goddamn minutes to
Not
finally
all
get
of
there.
them. Like I said, the one who played Mirror, she couldn't cry at all. That's
Yeah.
why she was considered a really bad actress. They said they had to like.
After my terrible marriage, I'll be quite honest. I don't really cry. You know, I've shed my tears for this world.
No,
and now
no.
I know it for what it is. I've
it-
walked past Oblivion's Gate. No, it's all right. You can be human. You can have your emotions. I'll be
Yeah,
over
no,
here
I'm
just
not
waiting
gonna
for
disregard you
everyone
for
in the
that. I'm not gonna
Thank you.
that, man. What I'm saying is that I'm saying as an
Move
actor,
on.
as someone that can do that, like
Okay.
Yep. Next point.
What happened to chat? Is it still moving, or have I just frozen? Fucking hell. Anyway, yeah. So fuck Doctor Who. This is a bunch of coping and seething bollocks. It's
Yeah,
pathetic,
sorry.
actually, that any of this has happened in the first place. There was no reason for it. There's no need at all.
I cannot
just-
wait for our post show.
Yeah. Post show. I'm going to bed after this. Anyway.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. We have got a super chat or two that has come in. Fanny for us, Swedish 50 says RTD made a drag queen a villain. Thinks disabled people are invisible and you can't be evil if you're in a wheelchair. RTD's POV of the world. Exactly. He is he's got to be like the Olympic champion of virtue signaling on behalf of supposedly downtrodden people who are in fact doing quite fine. Every group that he claims to represent, whether it's gay people, disabled people, or whatever, is sick and tired of being represented in this way. Like superhuman people in wheelchairs and ultra gay, hyper flamboyant couples and stuff like that. They're all fucking tired of this wild misrepresentation. My gay friends are like, yeah, I'm gay. That's not all I am. And then I'm like, yeah, I get it. And then like people who are disabled, I see them in the comments of videos that I make, and they're like, you know, I'm fucking tired of this as well. We're not actually that helpless that we need a fat, balding, bloated puff with delusions of grandeur to represent us on TV.
And that's where things like Pride Month or Awareness Week for disability people and all this kind of stuff, it actually does more harm than good.
Yeah. And that's honestly, like I really do, and John will back me up on this. Arza is like, he's a bisexual man and he fucking hates Pride Month, like to his fucking core. He thinks it's like the most useless thing in this goddamn world. And he will tell you that this whole fucking thing is the worst thing that's ever happened to him. And the thing is, he was kind of like me back in 2016, even though he's younger than me by about, over a decade, like 11 or 12 years. We have the same mindset, but we had the same mindset in 2016. We were like anti-Trump and all that fucking bullshit. Like, the thing is, it's not about anti-Trump nowadays. It's about, and it's like what I say right now. It's not about left. It's not about right. It's what's reasonable. And he's like, wait. Like, you get to that point of like, hold on a second. This is kind of bullshit. Like, why is this being propped up and this is being propped up and this, like, whoa, like, this is kind of just like all this bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
It's been going on for years and years and years, and everyone is fucking sick of it, especially the people they claim to represent.
Yeah,
we're tired of it, but so like the gays don't want anything to do with the T's, for example. The L's, G's, and B's are absolutely militantly tired and fucking
They've been undermined
off.
and overwhelmed by all this TQ plus insanity.
Yeah, it's like we said the other day when we were looking at the Blizzard shit. There is no L, G, or B anymore. It's just T all the time.
Like Arza, he's a bisexual man, right? Like
that exists.
He's greedy.
Yeah, he
Every
exists, and
every bisexual man I've ever met is gay. Every single
pretty
one.
much. But the thing is, what I love what he says. He's like, yeah, I'm a bisexual man, but I hate how these other people are representing me. They're just being nonsense. My attraction has nothing to do with society.
Exactly. It's just
like one of the best quotes I've ever heard in my goddamn life, and that's one of the reasons I would love.
But it's a giant overcorrection. It's a societal overcorrection because for the longest time, human nature kicks in, fear of the unknown, xenophobia. These are naturally occurring things. Racism is actually natural. It's a natural response. And if you don't believe me, literally earlier on, my 1-year-old started crying when a couple of black dudes appeared on the TV screen and started beatboxing. Daddy's little racist, apparently. And this is not the first time. This is becoming a thing now. Like they literally have to pick and choose what they show her. We watch a lot of Miss Rachel, for example, and she is very much a liberal who will work with people of all different types. There's a hideously ugly and increasingly fat lesbian in those videos, for example, that I always skip because she's horrible and can't sing. And then there's the songs that they do with this black duo of two guys who beatbox and sing really well. They're very talented. And I really like the collaboration. But every time it comes on the screen, my little girl starts crying. So it's like, well, maybe when she's older, we'll explain that.
Revisit this.
You want to know something that's really funny about me?
Maybe she just doesn't like beatboxing. Maybe it has nothing to do with color. Maybe the sounds that they're making with their mouths sound scary.
It's not just the sounds. They're in other things too, and they don't beatbox. It's still the same result. It's just she just doesn't like black people.
Did you know that
she doesn't mind black women? Okay. It's only black men that make her cry.
So no, here's a
what
weird
about even Michael Jackson on?
My mom thought I was.
Does he count?
Thought that I was a racist since I was 4 years old until I was 14 years old.
How can you be a racist 4-year-old?
No, so here was the thing, because when I was 4 years old, I had a friend. By the way, I lived in a very white community, and we had very very few black people around, right? And so what happened is that I didn't give a shit that they were black. Okay, my mom did not know that, but remember, this is 4 years old, and I looked at her and I went, "You're ugly."
To your mom.
And I said that like every fucking year that I saw her. And it wasn't until I was 14 years old, my mom asked me, she goes, "By the way, you used to do this?" I'm like, "Who are you talking about?" She goes, "James's parents." I go, "Oh, you mean his mom?" She went, "Yeah." I go, "No, she's ugly."
Was she ugly?
And she goes, "Why?" I go,
"Because she's ugly."
Because her lipstick looks like she's giving a blowjob to a different man. Have you not
said
noticed?
That to your mom?
And then my mom saw her, like, because my mom worked with her at the time, and she was like, "Oh my God." And then she looked at me and was like, how do you know about blowjobs? I go, the internet. And remember, this is like 2004. And so that was dial up.
Yeah, that was the dawn of broadband.
So so what happened was no, this is actually really interesting. So what happened is that because of what I said, it's like, wait a minute, she's giving blowjobs to men during the day. So
nobody.
My mom was like, hold on a second. Hold on a second. And she paid attention. She's like, oh my God. She is giving male nurses.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
She's giving male nurses. I will color my language a little bit. Situations in the co-ed bathroom, and that led to
assisted
not one,
therapy, I believe, is what you're saying.
Not
So
one,
anyway,
but two, but three.
What are we
divorces
talking about
in
right now?
5 years.
So, anyways, Will,
Sorry,
what do you
James.
think of the new game called Reloot and how poorly it's doing?
I don't know. Don't know anything about it. Oh, relooted.
Wait.
Relooted,
What
the
game?
the game where
that.
the game where black people steal from white people, or steal from
No, they steal
museums and
from-
stuff.
The thing
Yeah.
is, like, they really expected the black community
This is
to really find it. But thing is like the person who wrote it, one, isn't black, and
No.
two, it's portraying all the superheroes or the good guys you're supposed to root for as criminals. And the black community is like, what do you think we want role models who steal?
Yeah, exactly.
He even did the same thing.
No
with
one
Iron
likes
Man.
this shit.
He
Again,
steals
it's-
from Iron Man.
it's tone deaf bullshit. It's white liberal activists who are the worst people in the world, and they genuinely believe that like something is owed to black people by a generation who never did anything to them. Like, if you really wanted to do something, you should have done it 50 years ago. We're not the people you're looking for.
B-Man just asked me if I could time travel and bring back Ryan. You have accomplished something today.
Oh my God.
Nobody.
Oh my God.
Nah, if you brought Ryan here, I wouldn't be in the show today.
That's astonishing.
Right,
That's
right. But you have to
astonishing.
understand, like B-Man has always been an advocate of kicking Ryan, and
Kick Ryan, meet Ryan, ban Ryan. Now he's asking for Ryan. Wow.
nobody. You are a miracle worker of sorts.
You have managed to reconcile the relationship between B-Man and Ryan. Anyway, Fanny, thank you for the Swedish 50.
I am the
Sardoc Spamfish is here for £5. Says, this pride, I'm a proud member of the IDGAF Plus community. IDGAF, I don't give a fuck. Beautiful.
That's it.
I'm a huge advocate of gamer pride, by the way. And TJAP Steve has gifted 10 Griff Force memberships, you lucky people.
There's one thing you better know, and that is, I love all of y'all. Listen, can I explain something to you about being a daddy?
Don't try to frighten us with your devotion.
Daddy is the breadwinner. You dig what I'm saying? And if you don't win that bread, it just don't come around.
Money, print money, cash, money,
wealth,
capitalism, raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of money, print money, cash,
money, wealth,
capitalism, raise a bunch of money, super chat money.
As salty as the sea, calling us no-code names. SJW screaming, but it's money they blame. Burning with envy, they're falling flat. They can't handle the sound of a super chat.
Yeah, we hit the first part of the goal. Thank you, everybody. We are halfway through the bar. Let's continue with this wonderful roll. But as we do, let's get to a topic or so and talk about this Tom Felton thing. So this is, for me, a complete and total non-story. By the way, you may be able to spot a trans progressive pride flag
I
in the
fucking
Pepper
hate
logo.
stories.
Oh, before we get into it, T-Jab Steve for $2 says Mr. Nobody equals Timu Ryan Roger Athe. Man, what have you done to get eight?
Whoa. Hold
My
on.
God.
Hold on.
Damn, Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Wow.
Is
What
he the
have you
icon
done?
of the
Oh, no.
sports?
I'm gonna fucking address this. Okay.
Are you going to do it in your Ryan voice?
Oh, we want to do this in my Ryan voice. Okay. Well.
Doesn't sound anything like him, but okay.
Okay, well, I don't give a fuck.
like him.
Okay, Mr. TGAP Steve, no one is ever going to replace Ryan Roger Athe. No one. He is a
how many
one of a
shovels can
kind
you dig with at
motherfucker.
once?
Shut the fuck up, John.
Oh, by all means, please go ahead.
So, Mr. TGAP Steve, I am not replacing him. I will never replace him. He is a fucking institution, and he will always be an institution. Just because he moved on Rumble doesn't change anything. He is He is something. He is a force of his own, and a lot of us would not be here without him. I am not replacing him.
I'd be here.
We are his legacy.
No, we're not.
Okay, so
I disagree.
So no, I'm sorry.
She doesn't like Ryan.
I don't give a shit if you don't like Ryan. I don't care. That's fine. But Mr.
Ryan has nothing to do with me being here.
I don't give a
I'm my own
shit what
entity.
you say right now. I'm talking to TGAP Steve. So TGAP Steve. If you have anything else to say, I am not replacing him. No one else is replacing him. There's no replacing him. He is a fucking institution, and I would not be. A lot of people here on this panel would not be where they are today without him. So if you say another fucking thing about him again, in the way that you just
Calm down.
Yeah.
He's still a part of our chat and a mod of my channel.
Sorry.
Right. And it's
And
all
I
just
don't like the
roast.
way you said that to me.
I don't give a shit.
Then I should care about you?
I don't give a shit.
Okay, we'll see how it goes.
Well, now.
Great show.
Harry Potter.
Thanks.
Harry Potter.
Tom Felton's divisive decision to star in a Harry Potter play. This is not what the story is about, of course. Tom Felton decided recently that he was going to be asked about the J.K. Rowling controversy. And instead of steering into it, Mr. Felton did the absolute best possible thing that anybody can do when they are faced with some bullshit controversy that's been stirred up out of nowhere, and they want everybody to bend the knee, and he refused to bend the knee. But not only did he refuse to bend the knee, he refused to acknowledge that there's any controversy at all, which is the correct response in my view.
Just real quick.
Yeah, this
Soko
is
Chan,
amazing.
yes, I
I
do
read
give a
that.
shit. I'm really sorry. I was just in a mode. Sorry about that.
All right, cool. The only thing he says, Felton was asked whether Rowling's views impact you at all or impact your work in the world of Harry Potter at all. So basically, this is a setup. They're asking Tom Felton, who obviously played Draco Malfoy in the movies, and he's apparently going to reprise the role in The Cursed Child, which of course is set when they're all adults. So now he's roughly about the age that he would be, as Malfoy would be in the era where the Cursed Child is set. Obviously, he's going to have to be playing against Big Shirley, Hermione, and Harry and Ron and all that stuff. But he's going to be playing the same role again, and that's cool. But it's an obvious fucking setup. They're doing everything they possibly can, trying their hardest, because this is what they always fucking do at Variety. You may have noticed they got that weird guy with the strange voice where he's like, "Is this the gayest Marvel project ever?" You know, his Marge
See,
Simpson
that's the weird
voices.
thing about Variety. Variety, like, they start off pretty based, like, just in general, and then, like,
They push the
midway
envelope.
through at the very end, they go, like, at the very end, they're like, oh, then here's my opinion. And I mean, it's pretty annoying. I respect that more than what like Alyssa Mercante does, where it's like from top to bottom. Like, it's like, okay, well, here's my opinion at the very end, and I respect that. I do respect that, like, because they're trying to play the game just like we do here as YouTubers and as creators.
Yeah, but they're pushing their narrative. And the
Yeah.
whole point of this is to try and get another Harry Potter actor. Because, of course, it's not enough that they've got Daniel Radcliffe and especially Emma, even Rupert Grint, to acknowledge that they're, oh, no, she's transphobic. She's
You know what's actually kind of weirdly weird is that Daniel Radcliffe would be a better suitable position as an actor for Snape than the person that they have quote unquote cast as Snape.
Probably.
That
The point is that he they were
really
trying to
cool,
get him to acknowledge that the J.K. Rowling controversy is a thing. Now, if you actually have a brain in your fucking head, obviously you don't see J.K. Rowling or her commentary as controversial. She is literally a die-hard feminist, and you know she's we oppose her on lots of things, but we line up very nicely on her TQ plus beliefs. She wants absolutely nothing to do with the trans agenda. She doesn't want men in women's prisons, men in women's bathrooms, or anything along those lines at all. So, and there's nothing wrong with that because it's actually fucking common sense. Because a man is a man is a man, no matter what they do. Dig them up 10,000 years later, their bones.
She only
are
has so much say though because she sold her rights. It's
No, she didn't.
TV series.
She's the producer. She still has credit to the Harry Potter thing. She makes money even if she's not the one writing the script. She still gets royalty rights to everything.
Absolutely.
The thing is, they're getting mad about the show being on the air, but you don't see them going at the Universal Studios, who has the Harry Potter ride. You don't see them going at the Legos, who have all the Harry Potter toys. You don't see them going at the Mattel or any of the other ones that produce Harry Potter products. Because
Well,
guess
that's
what?
a general
She gets a percentage out of all of it. And the people in that community don't want her making any kind of royalties whatsoever. But they forget, if it wasn't for her, Harry Potter wouldn't even exist. The people who played in the movies,
But that's
wouldn't
not
even
how
have a
that
job.
works.
They wouldn't have been discovered if it wasn't
no,
for
no,
her.
that's not how that works. It's not that.
It's Harry
because
Potter's her creation. It's hers.
No. Because guess what? We have Hogwarts Legacy.
She still got royalty to it.
Yeah.
She gets
They
royalties.
used it. She got everything. Like I
She
said,
still owns
she's
the
made
franchise.
she
it's
still
hers,
owns
part
the
and
franchise.
parcel.
She made a
People can
lot
do
of money
licensing
off of it.
fees, but yeah.
They rent the name for the game. and
She
stuff, but
gets a
it's
lot of
still
money on a
her
lot of different
product.
fucking things, man. Because she's one
Yes,
of the
because she's a smart businesswoman.
Yeah,
And
she
regardless
still
of
owns
what
the core
what-
rights to the Harry
about
Potter
her
thing
franchise.
political views or
Well,
whatever her views
I have
on
a
the
question. Back in like
community,
2000 and fucking
it's still hers.
4. No. Back in 2000 fucking 4 or 5, did she think that the fucking trans thing would be something to be in a game about a Harry Potter thing? That
matter.
she would...
The Harry
Yes,
Potter
it
name
does.
is still hers.
Really doesn't.
Yes,
Harry
it
Potter
does matter.
is
No.
always going to be hers.
Yes, it does
Doesn't matter.
because she did not have a say in the game because she sold
That
the
doesn't.
right.
She doesn't care about that.
No, she
Like
sold
even
the
when
rights.
that guy told her, what did she do? She posted a picture saying, "Wow, I guess I'm gonna cry in a pile of money now." That was her
Right.
response to those people who were
Oh,
complaining
Yeah.
about
come
it having that in the game.
It
No,
was.
no,
She did
no,
do
no,
that.
no,
Go
no.
ahead.
She
Come
did.
on.
She did
Fucking
because
on.
because there was this whole thing about like people were like, we need to burn copies of this game and everything like that. But Rhoda, as somebody from the UK,
Yeah, like
Do
she
you have any
said
thoughts
that
on
as if
this?
she was agreeing to it.
I think you're muted, possibly, Rhoda.
Hello?
There you go.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I think this guy's done absolutely fantastically because, like, they're trying to set him up, and he just won't be cool on it.
Yeah.
And
It's not the
think
first
he
time
deserves
either, is
a
it?
lot of respect for that. Like, he's not come out and said, "Oh, I support everything that J.K. Rowling says," and he's not come out and said, "I don't hate her." And
Yeah. No,
you know,
he said
he's basically just come straight down the middle and said, "You know what? I'm here to do a professional job, and if you don't like that, fuck you."
exactly.
And
Exactly.
I think he's fucking amazing for it. I really appreciate him.
Yeah, I love that. He's calmed himself down, and they've asked him an extremely loaded question, which was does the controversy around J.K. Rowling or her views impact you at all, or impact your work in the world of Harry Potter at all? Which is not it's one of those media questions that sounds benign but is actually pure cancer.
It's a loaded question, and he answered it very well.
Well, he answered it straight to the point. He said, "No, I can't say it does. I'm not really that attuned to it." He says, "The only thing I always remind myself is that I've been lucky enough to travel the world. Here I am in New York, and I have not seen anything bring the world together more than Potter, and she's responsible for that."
Man,
and
he said it better
I'm incredibly
than
grateful.
Yeah, it's
what,
like
Anyone.
It's like, hey, I'm just,
Yes.
I'm
And
just
this is
happy
not
to-
the first time, by the way. He has said this kind of thing before. It's
You
only
know,
now that they're really picking up on it for some reason.
You know what's really interesting is that he was praising the world without. Yeah, and I think it's not discrediting J.K. Rowling or praising or against. What he's doing is just really down the middle. It's like, dude, the world is fucking fantastic. I would love to be a part of the world, and he is doing such a great job doing that. Felton's doing that, and I think right now, I mean, oh, you motherfucker! Sorry, my cell phone.
He's doing a good job.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of actors right now, just in general, and I think that it's a really good expansion point, which is that a lot of actors are learning, oh, I can't just like randomly say everything on Twitter, and that might, affect the box office. I think that we actually have
Hypnotic
more
brings up a good
British
point in the chat.
actors that are learning faster than the American actors. That American actors feel like, oh, because I'm on one side, and things are not about sides. It's not about left or right. It's what's reasonable. And like, look, like, Asako-chan and I, we just, disagreed, a few minutes ago, and that's more than fine. I mean, that's awesome. I love that I'm able to disagree with her, but at the same time, you see this, and we see this article, and then we see this expansion. I guarantee you that you could probably see many articles that will probably, expand to this like weird right side or left side kind of deal where it's unreasonable, where it's like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. Well, this, blah, 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 blah. But I think it's like, Osaka and I can have this argument and at least be in the same space of reasonability, because I exactly know where she's coming from and she knows where I'm coming from.
I think
Dude,
Hypnotic made a pretty good point in the chat if you want to bring that up.
Hopefully I'm not speaking for you too much, Osaka here, but like there is a reasonability to an argument, and what this actor's doing right now is being like, I don't want to fucking get into this whole thing.
Your sentence cut out. Can you repeat that last sentence?
Which part? I said a lot.
Like refreshed, so I didn't get the last part of what you just said.
You said her name.
Yeah, you said it.
That you and I could disagree, to a certain extent, but there's left and right. There's reasonable that you understand where I'm coming from, that I understand where you're coming from. But I'm not saying that you're wrong. Like, even though that like we were disagreeing here like a minute or two ago, I understand where you're coming from, and I think that you understand where I'm coming from. And what I love about this actor is that they are being in the place of, you know what? I just love the world.
Well,
and this actually reminds me
that it's like, you ever heard the phrase "don't poop where you eat"? He knows. If it wasn't for J.K. Rowling discovering him as a child and casting him as Malfoy, he wouldn't have the life that he has.
Well, this is about him. It was
He's
a
saying,
different
like, he's
actor.
staying professional about it. He's not getting involved in his bosses or former bosses' political view.
Actually,
He's
I
just
have a
grateful
really
for the
good
opportunity that she was able to open the door for him to allow him to have the life that he has. Unlike the other Harry, Hermione, and Ron, where the moment any kind of rumor came about, they quickly turned their back on J.K. Rowling without even knowing what happened. Like that tweet that started it all, that claimed that J.K. Rowling was homophobic and all that kind of stuff. Guess what?
You came in a little late, Hypnotic.
The guy even got sued to it, and he stopped it and retracted it the moment J.K. Rowling said, "If you're going to continue this, I'm taking you to court." And how quickly he shut up right afterwards.
Okay, actually, hold on. Like, well,
we're running out of time. We need to get on. But you're absolutely right. And the point is that it's nice to see a little bit of bloody professionalism
Right.
in this world of everybody being an activist and everybody having some pointless, unnecessary soapbox agenda to get on and drive everybody fucking crazy. So the last thing I want to say about this is that they're already the media trying to spin this. And they're doing that tired old trick of inventing a story by claiming that certain sources or the people, they're speaking for the people and saying that they're pissed off about this. It says, while regular Rowling supporters praised Felton for his response, Harry Potter fans are unconvinced, with many accusing him of privilege and actively ignoring the lives of queer people that are being endangered by Rowling's views. I think you'll find that Harry Potter fans are not those people at all. They are, in fact, the Rowling supporters. These are the people who either agree with her politically. By the way, hardly anyone isn't at least a partial fan of Harry Potter. It's more or less impossible to characterize or mischaracterize Harry Potter fans as being exclusively left-wing psychos, although many of them are.
As a Harry Potter fan, and as
The
other
remaining
Harry Potter's fan that I've met, we don't care about this kind of political view. We care about
Doctor Who
this
fans, Star Wars
world.
fans.
Yeah,
The reason I call this channel Will of the Fans is because the actual fans don't care about this fucking shit, and they're sick and tired of it invading it.
And
Yeah,
as
the-
somebody
wanna
who's probably the
destroy.
only non-Harry Potter fan
absolutely
in existence, I can appreciate him just actually just being like, yeah, dude, I'm just doing my job. Just,
So
you know.
exactly. And
Yeah,
he got
like,
backup too, and it's ironic that he got backup from the guy who played his fucking father as well. Jason, is it Jason Isaacs? Yeah. He basically said, I saw you presenting on the Tonys tonight, son. You look good, sounded good, and did great. And of course, they're running with that as well. So now apparently the Malfoys are racists in real life or anti-trans in real life as well. Great. Just what you want. Just what you want.
Man, like
Bullshit.
they try to make a new reality every single time. It's like making, it's like
I'm
making
sorry to
fetch a
interrupt you.
thing.
Can you
It's
repeat the start
so
of your
fucking
question,
dumb.
the start of your statement one more time? Like you did the swirly thing, and like the whole entire beginning part of what you just said was gone. I'm sorry. Can you say it one more time?
Well, what I'm saying is that they're trying to make fetch a thing. Like it's one thing, like you get to hit, like it used to be when you're watching the movies, like, yeah, you can, or even when you're reading the books, like, yeah, there's that, you could have that little hint of racism to a certain extent, but when you make it explicit in the way that they're trying to do it, it's like, yeah, no, it was better that was hinted at, not explicit. It's because of the mudblood thing and all that jazz, but I think J.K.
Chicken Little Bee,
Rowling.
man. Thanks for
Yep.
everything.
Oh, cheers, B man. Thank you very much for stopping by, buddy. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, so that's it basically. They're trying to portray Tom Felton as a transphobe because he says he is indifferent to the controversy and he doesn't bite the hand that feeds. It's quite simple, really. His whole career is beholden to J.K. Rowling, same as Radcliffe, same as Watson, same as Vince, same
But
as
the other thing is he has a clean career. Like we watched him grow up before our eyes. Like even as a teenager, he wasn't one who went and got in trouble with paparazzi. He wasn't getting in trouble with the law. He stayed his nose clean and just focused on his career. So he doesn't want to get caught up in this political agenda where people want to do cancel culture on him. And that's what they're trying to do, because they're trying to divert from what's really going on right now, because they don't want to talk about the main actor who's playing Snipe. They don't want to talk about how he might step down for what's going on with him. So they're like, oh, quick, let's talk about different Harry Potter actors so we don't talk about him.
I just think it's
that's
really
what they're
awesome
doing.
that there's still somebody who's in good standing enough to, take on a legacy role from the original series and play, a character that can stand in and still have connection to that. So it's like he played the kid, now he's playing the dad. That's brilliant.
No, he's playing
I don't
the
even,
same.
I don't even
He's
care
playing,
about Harry Potter.
Playing the same role.
No. He's
playing the same
Oh.
character, just
He's
grown up.
playing Draco Malfoy as a 40-year-old.
Oh, okay, all right, all right.
Because that's when Cursed Child is set. It's
Oh,
like when
gotcha,
they're
gotcha.
all
All right,
adults.
cool. All right,
But that's
cool.
not really important anyway. The point is,
Yeah.
I'm just
then it's even
pleased
better.
because Felton is acting like a sensible, well-adjusted, dare I say, based, maybe even reality-based individual who is just actually standing his ground,
Yeah,
which
it's
takes
excellent.
balls
I
in
mean,
this.
They
Go
tried
on,
to
Rob.
set him up, and he was having none of it.
Yeah, he could see it too clearly. He plays stupid. He plays dumb a bit. Like, well, no, I don't care about any of that. I don't really know about it. You guarantee he knows every little thing that's going on with this. He absolutely must. It is vital to his career. But, well, maybe not vital, but certainly, you know, it's important to his career for him to know what's going on with his most famous role. But regardless, he can act like he doesn't know about it. But that's not the point either. At the end of the day, he stands his ground and says, this is completely irrelevant to me and my performance and my work. I'm grateful to J.K. Rowling for giving me the break that I got, and that's set me on the path that I'm living in now, and I'm going to be eternally grateful to that. And this is just literally the exact verbiage that we have whenever one of those Harry Potter bitches comes out, the little kids, the main three, mostly Harry and Hermione, come out and say, she's an evil, transphobic, blah, 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 blah. Every single person who stands against that in any way, shape, or form says the same bloody thing. How about you shut up and respect the woman who gave you your entire life?
Yeah. It's Hermione.
She's done more for him than their parents.
Harry's second, and then like Ron's just kind of like, can I just give away ice cream to kids?
Yeah, right.
He's cool.
Ron-
But even
Ron-
he
Ron
he
just
has
wants to
had
be
to
a
stay.
dad. He didn't really want to like continue acting. He just
Yep.
he got married, settled down, had kids, and he just
He seems like a
invested
decent
stock.
dude.
He made a lot of money, and he has weighed in on it a bit, though. He has paid lip service to the shit that the other two are saying from time to time. Not very often, but
No,
we can
he's
let
actually
that
done a
slide.
really Rupert has done a really good job. He's kind of done a very interesting career that's very similar to the Harry Potter comparison, Daniel Radcliffe, where he's like, I'm just gonna choose kind of the weird things that I have so much money that I'm like, oh, I just
And he'll make money
I wanna
forever,
do what I
too.
want to do, which is like, dude, that's the fucking dream. Where if you are so fucking rich that you're like, wait, hold on,
I can be an
hold
ice
on.
cream man.
I can be
For-
an ice
for a
cream man.
kick.
I can act in whatever. I could be this
To be
TV
quite
show
honest,
that
that's a very similar
M.
thing to
Night
what I would do.
Shyamalan is now producing. Okay, I'll just do that. Wait, wait. Oh, it's successful. Like, oh God, like.
Whereas Radcliffe and Watson got caught up in it massively. I mean, Radcliffe's next move after Harry Potter was getting naked in a stage play. He completely crashed out for a couple of years. Watson kept her head relatively level, but became an activist.
Hold on. That the play's called Equus, and I was almost
Nobody, I don't have time for another objection. Okay, we have to move on to another topic. So let's move on. We're going to talk about Zelda and the movie Zelda. Sorry, buddy, I really do have to move on.
No, I understand.
And we're going to get on, but first of all, MagesGuild here says, I hope that my image of a replacement for G.I. Joe for the Marxist woke left isn't too much to show on stream. I came up with it rather while spaced out. And he has in fact tweeted a new Kenner toy for modern left. If you are a cultural Marxist and you're looking for a G.I. Joe toy to buy for your children to fuck them up completely, you can buy My Burka Buddy, new from Kenner. This is excellent. I really like it. It's even got like whatever this is. I don't know why it's got an extra suit. Or whatever.
Because that is what we call a
it's the
jihadi
female version?
mail delivery.
Right.
No, that's
No,
that's the strapped up bomb suit, right?
Yes,
I see.
yes.
Yeah, and it comes complete with multiple guns, tanks of gasoline, a briefcase bomb, body armor, nightstick, and what looks like a fucking Acme bomb from a Looney Tunes cartoon. So fair enough, and well done for successfully creating that, MagesGuild. Very funny, very good, mate. My Burka Buddy, new from Kenner, ladies and gentlemen. And if you would like to jump in and criticize any of us, you feel free to help me fill the bar, and I will be gaming all weekend as a result. So, in the meantime, we have to talk about my favorite franchise in gaming ever, which is The Legend of Zelda, and the movie that was last reported for having, of course, an artificial narrative that has been built up,
Yeah, it's getting astroturfed by a marketing department.
about a fucking trans Zelda, which is when I came up with the word trans Zelda. But I think actually that has now died out as until they bring it up again, until eventually it's cast as a woman, which she will. And they better do that because otherwise the franchise is dead before it even begins. However, apparently not all is well at Nintendo Land as they have delayed the movie.
And you almost wonder if this is in some way due to the dust up that happened because of said marketing company, you know, and they're just like, you know what? It's like, let's just put this on ice and not and let the fervor around it die out, and we can kind of like focus on just actually getting this thing right. And yeah,
Being
you were
here
gonna say
from
was Hawkeye?
Japan,
Yep.
coming here from Japan, everyone here knows that Nintendo is completely strict when it comes to anything of their products. When it comes to Mario, when it comes to Zelda, when it comes to anything that they create, they are extremely strict. So when another country wants to license their name for a game or a movie or a cartoon, if they try to change it for their own political agenda, Nintendo will shut it down immediately.
Right.
They don't care how much money they want to invest into the thing. Nintendo is like, no, this is our baby. You're not going to rape it.
Right.
I completely agree. And honestly, this is like a non-starter. Honestly, I fucking hate that this is even a topic in the first place.
Well,
Because
this is kind of one of those things that was
I
bound
don't
to
want
happen
a live
because
action
of,
Zelda, by the way. I don't want a live
no,
action
it
Zelda.
doesn't really need to be. It's one of
Oh,
probably,
no.
probably one of the worst franchises they could do live action.
No, because this is fucking the most fakest story in the world.
Yeah, but people have been talking about doing a live action Zelda movie for like 20, 25 years, and it's been more and more and more annoying and obnoxious and ham-fisted every single time somebody makes a
And
fake
why are
trailer
we
for it
talking about it?
because it matters to me.
It's a topic.
Because they're trying to
And-
make Nintendo
well,
sound like they're against the
LGBT
trans
and
community
all that,
when that's not the case. When Nintendo says we created this character of Zelda is the princess, she is a girl. She's not a trans woman. She's not a man in a girl's dress. No, she is a woman. She is a princess. Link is a guy. He's always going to be a guy, and he's straight and she's straight. That's their characters. Like I said, they're not going to twist it around just to get some brownie points for another community.
They don't need it. They don't need it.
If
They're
you
Nintendo.
want a character, Nintendo basically says if you want a character that way, they will create a whole new character who is that way. But these characters have existed for several generations, and they're not going to change them now overnight because a certain person said, well, I wanted to be this.
A small, minimal group at best, and and like I said, I think that's ultimately why they.
Wait,
parked this
actually,
thing.
you make actually a very good point there, Osaka-chan. So this kind of goes back to like when we were seeing the anime live action shit that was going on Netflix and that are still going on to this day, as we have seen. But there was a standout, wasn't there? And that was One Piece.
Oh, I've been hit.
What?
James, I've got me.
One Piece did stand out, but why did it stand out?
I'll
It's
tell you
like-
why right now. Because
Well,
the creator of One Piece, he put his foot down when he
made
saw what they did to
fucking
Cowboy
stand.
Bebop, and he's like, "This is
Yeah.
my baby. This is
Yep.
the longest running anime
Yep.
in Japan's history. It
There's
has
no
the
way
most
that
fans.
Ichiro Oda would allow
It has
that.
fans all over the world, and we are not going
thank
to
you, James.
torture it and tear it apart for your idea. This is not your creation. This is mine." And he's
yes, but
same thing,
here
he's
but
even there
here-
for every shooting of every episode.
Yeah, but here is where the concern lies. Not personal or anything like that. The concern lies of we saw the Mario movie and it did differentiate. And just because Sony is the one that's going to be doing it, remember, there's a very big difference between the author and the company.
Yeah, but Eiichiro Oda and Shigeru Miyamoto and that have rights.
Yeah, they do different things. And the thing is, with
Who
when they
has more rights?
everything. It's not like they haven't made multiple non-canon One Piece movies. Oda has the last say on everything.
Yes.
Yeah, but where did they learn that from? They learned that from the worst Zelda decisions that they
No,
ever made.
actually, you're wrong. They actually learned that from the samurai films that were in black and white when they first came out. When George Lucas started copying it for his Star
Kurosawa.
Wars. And so a lot of other movie Hollywood companies started copying it.
What?
And Japanese companies started learning and said, you know what? We really need to protect and copyright our characters.
No, it's true. I've heard that before.
No,
No. Yes, it is true. Look it up. Look it up. You'll see
I
it.
don't give a shit.
Yeah, I've
if
heard
it's
this
true or
before.
not, but that's a very disingenuous take because
She's from Japan. I think she would know about Japan.
From Japan. What are you on about?
Yeah, dude. Like, dude, she's
What are you
literally
talking about?
she's called Osaka Chandal. She lives in Osaka, Japan. I think she knows a thing or two about Japan.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you,
And
this
even
this
I've
is where
heard that same
that's how it
story
started.
before.
Okay,
they
then
were
I'm
inspired
sorry.
by that.
Then
protecting its own creativity from the Western world.
That's disingenuous. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're disingenuous. There's a very big difference with that. And because if that was the case, then YouTubers are the most disingenuous people in the world.
Well, but you know, I mean,
But YouTubers,
Quite a
not
few
all of them, when they would say things on their channel, actually say actual correct facts. A perfect example of that is freaking, what's that terrorist YouTuber's name? Hassan? Look at how much lies come out of his mouth. If we were to say like everything that YouTubers
Right.
say is true, then that means every single thing he says is true. And we know it isn't true. He does everything for propaganda for terrorists.
Then I'm not true. Then and I'm true as
I'm
well.
not saying
You
everyone's
and
liar. I'm just
everyone
saying
else.
there's some YouTubers who do speak the
No,
truth,
it's
and
just a
there's some who
dangerous
lie.
precedent that you're
That's
setting.
because there's so many who don't do their research. There's
Right.
so many of them who are too lazy to actually look
Yeah.
up the historical facts of what
Right.
actually happened, and they
This
just
is
go
where
based
my,
on what they saw on
No, no, no,
TikTok
no, no, no,
or
no.
on Twitter.
I know
my
a
or on
video
I'm
biggest
not
creator,
rant
talking about
but
historical
I will be
facts. I'm
kind.
talking about what's
But
happening
this is a weird
now.
tangent that's happening.
Jesus
right
Christ, this is so fucking not what we were supposed to be talking about, but okay, go on.
now. Yeah.
I understand where
Due
you're coming
to
from, but I
production
just
reasons,
disagree.
that's extremely concise and precise
Rhoda.
and informative, isn't it? Due to
Mm.
production reasons. Like, come
Yeah.
on, elaborate.
What does that mean? Yeah. I don't know what that means because they haven't cast the movie yet. So they can't be in production yet. So they're in pre-production. And something's gone terribly wrong. It implies that it's got something to do kind of with the current political situation surrounding the movie, but well, it says in November 2023, Nintendo announced that the Legend of Zelda. Why am I fucking misreading this? I think I'm just tired. Is being adapted into a movie. Blah blah blah. Where's Balls directing? Of course, by Nintendo and Arad Productions. Avi Arad is known for his work on Spider-Man, Iron Man, X-Men. Yeah, of course. It was part of
okay,
the reason
sorry.
that they got off the ground in the first place, but
No.
it has been delayed. Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto revealed, "This is Miyamoto. For production reasons, we are changing the release date of this live-action film of The Legend of Zelda to May 7, 2027. It will be some weeks later than the release time we originally announced, and we will take the extra time to make the film as good as it can be. Thank you for your patience." What do you imagine is going wrong with this? What could
actually,
go wrong?
I need to apologize to Osaka-chan real quick. I was thinking on a Western, like once you read the article. No, I need to apologize because I was looking at a Western front when Western goes to East, not the other way around. So no, I need to apologize for that. So that's the way I was looking at it. So that's my bad there. Sorry about that, Osaka-chan.
Like I said, I live here, so we know exactly what's going on because it's right in our, here.
No, Hypno's fucking having the time of his life in the
I
chat.
know,
Which
right?
is meltdown.
Yeah, I
shit
know,
show.
right? Oh no, no, oh no.
It's like,
There-
why does he keep going after that woman?
Well,
Everyone has turned on you today. Everyone is fucking furious with you in the chat.
Well, there's a
It's
reason
fucking
for
hilarious.
the
Just wait till we get to the
but
super
this is
chat.
true. I need to call.
Oh yeah,
myself
we're gonna
out.
get to the super chat. Yeah, don't worry, you're being
Well,
called out plenty.
Oh
buddy.
yeah, I bet. But no, I need to call myself out when I didn't whether I was
Even
thinking
nobody
about it
has
in this
problems with
aspect.
nobody.
It's okay. You're very passionate about it, and you're probably a gamer.
You know what? Okay.
I'm a
You
gamer
know,
as well,
you
and
know-
we both grew up loving these franchises, so it's okay.
yeah, no, I know it's more
We
fun.
both make mistakes.
Yeah, no, I would love to have you on my channel. That'd be fucking amazing. Like, I would love to argue with you all day. You're
Hit him with a chair.
I don't want to argue with you though.
Yeah, Osaka's generally, she's pretty laid back.
Oh,
most
yeah,
of the
yeah,
time.
What a nice,
you're not
chill
like me and
Japanese
John.
girl, and you're like, no,
Right.
you're wrong. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
she'll
are you
politely
talking
invite
about?"
herself to step away from situations like this generally.
Yeah, no,
it's hilarious because someone said that he was Timu Ryan Roger Arthur, and he took exception to it, and then no one has offended Osaka-chan as much as Ryan until probably now.
Exactly.
Oh no,
I feel sorry every time I invite her
Oh,
on this
no,
show. Someone
I-
gets
I
really
will-
angry with her and starts
when it
having
goes-
a go.
when it
And
goes to
she's
Ryan
not even
Roger Arthur-
wrong. She's completely right.
Every
No, when it goes to Ryan, I did not.
Oh man.
No, I did not.
Nobody.
No, the thing is, honestly, I didn't think about it. That I didn't even know that you're in Japan or whatever. I don't know where the fuck you are. But
Mr. Nobody,
but no,
I
I
really suggest when you get free time, if you would like to listen to some of my stories, I think you might really enjoy them and find them like really.
oh no,
fun.
I'm never gonna watch any of your videos. I think your voice is incredibly annoying. Wow,
That's really rude of you.
no, that's a
And here I was just trying to be like polite and kind.
Oh no, I'm just being kind and being honest.
That's not being kind.
Well, that's your opinion.
No, it's the fact. To say I'm never gonna watch this because I don't give a care, blah blah blah. That's rude.
Yeah, it's like the kind
Well-
of shit that I get in my comment section by trolls, and I just tell them to go fuck themselves.
Well, why would I listen to something that I don't like?
Like I didn't insult you when you started singing. I could easily insult you too, but I'm not
Okay.
going to.
And I don't care.
You know, you have your own opinion, and I respect you for your opinion.
Thank you.
I'm not going to go and attack you and call you names and say your voice sounds horrible.
And I didn't call you
I
names.
like her voice. The chat likes her
Yeah.
voice. They're all saying that she's got a really cute voice.
I have so many songs from Osaka Chan.
No,
Like,
you want to jump in, man?
I mean, seriously.
I didn't call
she has
you
a
a
beautiful
name.
voice. I hear her
She has a
sing
lovely voice,
acoustically all the
too.
time.
I love
She's
your
got an
opinion.
adorable
No,
voice.
I honestly do love your opinions. I just
She's
don't like, your
one of the
voice.
most
That's it.
talented creators I've ever met in my time in doing this in the
Okay.
past whatever many years that I've been involved in YouTube or content creation in general. You know,
Okay.
like, clearly, she's quite
And
honestly
guess
my
what? I have
favorite
the right to
YouTuber.
disagree.
By all
Okay,
means,
I'm
by
fucking
all
sick of
means.
this
Disagree all you
crap
want.
now.
Like
But
I said, we
anyways,
can
we sh-
disagree. No,
I am fucking sick of this shit now.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna and I'm not going to make
enough.
any.
On y va?
Enough shit. Super chat time. Fuck
Yes.
this
Okay.
noise. Fucking bullshit. Unbelievable. Okay, now it's time for some fucking super chats. Let's see, where were we last time? That was MagesGuild. We got T-Jab Steve for $5. Says the BBC is bringing Doctor Who to CBeebies for the very first time. CBeebies? Ah,
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, you didn't see this in the
I'm
last
scared.
story, did you?
I'm very scared now.
What the what the
Yeah,
fuck?
this was in
I'm
our
a
Who
lot
chat this morning. I
worried.
read it right before we came in. I thought I was kind of surprised we didn't mention it, but I guess that'll be on Sunday. We'll get into this a little bit.
Yeah, I bet we will. Rhoda, were you going to say something there, mate?
I just said that scares me. I'm very worried about this.
Yeah, that is really worrying.
I really like.
He
Yeah.
sent me the link.
When are they
I've
going to
got it
leave
on
the
screen
bloody
now.
kids alone? You
I
know
don't
what
know
mean?
if you can add anything that, like, just being worried about that.
And see, the thing is, if you said this 30 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, cool. Sounds good. Let's do it. Now,
Yeah, it'd just be some
oh,
cute
no.
little show with like toy Daleks battling a
Yeah.
Lego Doctor, wouldn't it? But
Yeah, it would have been
but
like
now it's just like
Pingu or something with
I mean, like,
claymation.
my
Go on.
indoctrination senses are tingling. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
Indoctrinate.
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 Yeah, exactly.
Indoctrinate.
Wow. Well, anyway, fucking hell, the chat going fucking crazy.
Thank you for asking the show, T-Gap.
So apparently they're going to put it on CBeebies, which if you're not aware because you don't live in the UK, CBeebies, as you can probably work out, is the baby channel of the BBC. They used to have CBBC, which was children's BBC, Then they basically turned it into CBeebies, which is toddlers BBC. So the reason that this is extremely alarming, of course, is because the current state of Doctor Who being what it is just basically indoctrination for freaks. It's LGBT fucking bollocks, and absolutely everybody is sick and tired of it. But this is a step further. You know, you are now basically bringing a brand that is synonymous with indoctrinating people to weird sexual identities to toddlers, and they're proudly touting that the TARDIS is set to land on CBeebies. Everyone is welcome at CBeebies. Fuck. That's the first thing you said.
Yep.
Yeah, here come the LGBTQ to fuck you up the bubble, including the Doctor. This much loved franchise entertains millions around the world. Yeah, barely. So it is right that our younger audience get to experience the one. No, just fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off forever, Patricia Hidalgo. What the fuck? Beautiful British name, by the way. Hidalgo, Director of Children's and Education. The BBC is set to expand the Whoniverse. Oh, because that's what it needs right now, isn't it? Expansion. The most felted show since Top Gear. And they're going to bring it to damn toddlers. Oh, dude.
I'm going to quote Rhoda and say I'm scared about that.
Yeah. That is alarming. That is deeply alarming.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. It's incredibly alarming.
I say we'll definitely get into the depths of this, I would imagine, on Sunday.
Yeah, I will definitely go into this and find out more.
Yeah.
But my God, a face
Well,
value.
hold on, real
big
quick.
problem.
I mean, I'm the obviously I haven't seen any Doctor Who since Peter Capaldi. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? Because right now the only thing that I'm seeing is, oh no, that's the only thing that I'm seeing. Like,
I mean, you watched the episodes we reviewed on the show, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the one that I was sent the wrong episode on?
Hey, double
the one
check
after
these
that.
things. Yeah, and the one after that, I sent you the correct one. So you know, it was a technical error, but you could have just verified.
I didn't know it. No, okay.
Well,
Osaka-chan.
whose
Here's a
fault
little
is
bit of
that?
lore real quick. John was like, hey, we're going to be reviewing this episode of Doctor Who. And he sent me the wrong episode. So I wrote like 3 or like 6 pages or something like that. I don't know how much I wrote, but I wrote a lot of pages on notes and everything. And then I found out that day, different episode.
and you know, and like I said, I do apologize, but also at the same time, I think it's absolutely hilarious. But you know, you could have verified and just said, hey man, isn't this supposed to be episode, you know, Wish World? And I would have been like, oh yeah, sorry, something must have happened. I sent you the wrong link.
I'm sorry that I blindly trusted you.
Don't do that. Nobody should
know.
trust me. I'm not.
So
I know,
this
my
is
bad.
this is terrible. A brand new animated preschool series of Doctor Who is now in development and will be appearing before toddlers' eyes to teach them all about the virtues of being gay and non-white. And hey, kids, join Antifa today. You too can be burning down cities or getting shot with rubber bullets by the Marines. You fucking retards.
Is that going to be aired on Disney Plus?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah, they would have to make another contract for it. I think this is something that is in the
That's still a really
in
good
the realm
question,
of BBC.
It's not in the budget. The budget was allocated for 26 episodes, 21 of it, and there's 5 left.
Their contract,
And that's
so
an easy
their contract is
100
already over and done with. And
That's-
I
yeah,
doubt
done.
Yeah, that's
Disney's
an
making
easy
a contract for an
85
animated
to
series if they're not picking up
$150
more.
million just by itself, right? About
What?
Am I right about there in those numbers? 85 to 150 million with
What?
those episodes.
I didn't hear what you said at the start because you were talking over John. So what did you say?
So what that amount of episodes, that'd be somewhere around, especially with the BBC's numbers, according to what they were reporting, that'd be with the amount of episodes somewhere between 85 million to 150 million dollars USD.
What? What would?
The series of what they're reporting there.
The baby show?
This cartoon show? No, nowhere near that. It was animated. It'll be cheap as fuck.
Oh, it's a cartoon show. I was thinking that was live action. Sorry, my bad. Oh yeah, that's way cheaper. That's more like 20 million at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
it's
sorry about
less
that.
than that. The BBC
All right.
is cheap as anything. They don't pay money out because they are being felted because the license fee is half what it used to be, or at least the people paying it are half as many people are paying the license fee as used to. So the BBC are poorer
There's
now
a
than they were in
massive,
the
massive
1970s.
campaign like defund the BBC going on
Yeah.
in the UK at the moment, and it's doing quite well.
Yeah, no one wants the BBC anymore. They're antiquated, they're outdated, they're completely obsolete.
Yeah,
The country doesn't need a
involved.
national enforced taxpayer funded no one agrees with. Because
Yeah,
the reality of
it's
the reality of the UK is that it's always been a very traditionally minded country, and that means that by the age of about 25, everyone's a conservative.
More or less.
And
yeah.
the ones who aren't are minors and they're trad libs, which is why Labour's getting felted as well, because they don't represent the poor or the working class anymore. They represent immigration.
That's why you're seeing
it's the same
a
shit that's going on in America, except we don't have a Trump yet. But that will come soon. But in the meantime, anyway, thank you very much for bringing this to our attention, T-Jab Steve. Appreciate you for the $5, mate. James up. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I will.
I got hit. Thank you, Will.
There it
Thank
is.
you, James. I appreciate the membership.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, James Up. Massive supporter of the channel, massive friend of the channel, and much respected ally, and confidant as well. So appreciate you for everything there, buddy. Really do, and thank you. Crack on with the show after, of course, GRIFT Force, which I don't know if it played or not because it's fucking up.
It did.
It played for
Yeah,
me.
it played.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank you for allowing me to be on the show, and I'm sorry for me and nobody having a disagreement loud, and didn't mean to interrupt what you've been doing.
Oh no,
I think any of it was your fault, to be honest.
No.
Osaka-chan, you are always an absolute delight to have on the show. And
and the thing is,
no hard feelings at all.
Osaka-chan, I clearly went too far, and I do apologize for that. Do I disagree with you on certain things? But
I really like Will's show, and I like.
Fuck
being in
you,
this show.
Hypnotic. Stop making this.
I always
about-
have fun when I come in and have conversations with.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh man, I should have sent Hypnotic a fucking link, man. This is gold.
I like how that we look at Hypnotic and we're just like, what does he mean by that?
And then you look in the mirror.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, Osaka, you were saying.
Yeah.
I was saying, I really do enjoy when you invite me on the show. It's always a good time, and I like the topics that you bring up. I think a lot of the topics you bring up do need more awareness to that, and so you're doing a really good job. And thank you for having me here.
Thank you very much for being part of it. I appreciate you, and thanks for the compliment as well. Do you want to tell people? So you're leaving now? Because I didn't catch the start of what you said.
Oh,
so.
no. I was apologizing for me and him interrupting and having a public disagreement.
Don't worry about
the way it was.
People,
We're doing it live, baby. You know.
Yeah, people get stressed out. I mean, yeah, okay, this one hit like levels of tension that I haven't really had to experience very much before, but that wasn't really your fault.
Yeah, we all have to remember
And,
nobody's quite new to this. He might have a touch of the internet brain, and hopefully he
This
does
isn't
something before it overtakes his success and undermines him entirely. But
regardless, this is not supposed to be an echo chamber. We are allowed to disagree. It's kind of fun. We try to keep it light-hearted. That's the thing, like roast each other as much as you fucking want.
Yeah.
No personal attacks, that kind of shit is not really cool. Anyway, prepare for the roast of nobody. Sorry, nobody, but the next few chats are well, next couple anyway.
I really don't give a shit.
MagesGuild for $10, and that's a drop it. Says disingenuous is Mr. N acting like Hamas did the party piker by interrupting and over talking anyone who disagrees with him like a typical California leftist. Shut it and let people finish their points. Oh,
Luxanor's name for Hassan. That part kind of made.
I thought
that's the meme name, yeah. Hamas piker, yeah.
I will say that I went too far in one aspect, but I do think that I still disagree with her on her point.
That's fine.
That's okay. I respect you for that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that I went that far, and that's my bad, and I do apologize for that.
Yeah,
But
we
I'm
didn't
not.
need to
I'm not. I
disagree.
am. I'm still not going to say that I was wrong. But I do understand where.
not
But I
asking
do
you to
understand.
say that.
But I will say that I do understand that she was coming from.
Best episode.
No one was saying you're wrong or right. No one's saying any of that.
Yeah.
Best episode.
Amazing skills. I
I
appreciate
am
your
sending a
opinion and
link
thank you for the
to so many
$10.
people after this today. Be like, you really have to go watch this.
You gotta watch this shit show, man. Watch the meltdown. Watch the train wreck. It's glorious. I bet it is fucking glorious
Whatever.
if you're watching it and you're not responsible for it. But I am responsible for it, and I gotta
really
keep this
don't
fucking
care.
show going. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. We only have like, fuck it. I guess I'll just I'll just push into the last topic after this, and we'll carry on. MagesGuild for another $5. Oh wait. You know what? I'll just total them up and whatever. MagesGuild for $5 says, what went wrong is that they used the script for Wand of Gamelon for the film. Oh no, not Wand of
Ooh.
Gamelon. Jesus Christ, CDI bullshit.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
So in
CDI
the early days
like
during
the
the Super
90s.
Nintendo era, you know how the PlayStation came to be, right? That Nintendo originally had a partnership with Sony, and Sony
It was originally like
NES add-on,
Nintendo's equivalent of the Mega CD.
Yes, a Nintendo PlayStation, exactly. And then Nintendo welched on it, apparently, or Sony welched on it. No, it was Nintendo.
It was Nintendo.
It's Nintendo, of course, because Sony's revenge was the PlayStation.
They got courted by Panasonic, or Philips Panasonic, rather.
Yeah, so basically, instead they decided to welch on the deal that they had with Sony, and they did a deal with Philips instead. Sony went on to make the PlayStation 1, which of course completely dominated and crippled every other console of that generation, including the N64, which did fairly well, but nowhere near as well as it might have done otherwise. While Nintendo entered into a partnership with Philips instead to produce CDI, which was a console that nobody ever wanted to play. It was absolutely fucking terrible. And as part of the deal, Philips got to produce a couple of Mario games and a series of Zelda games. But the games that they made were completely utter, unbelievable garbage that had nothing to do with any of the lore, the canon, had no respect for any of it. But basically, two of them were like side scrollers that were just
terrible,
just awful, like unplayable garbage with the worst cutscene animation you've ever seen as well. You've really got to look into these. And then there was Wand of Gamelon as well. So basically they had those two, and then they had a third game that was like a bird's eye view, but we're using like realistic graphics. All of them were fucking terrible, and one of them was Wand of Gamelon. And the plot is ridiculous. Everything about these games is utterly awful. And you just look into Zelda CDI, and you will discover
Find a treasure trove of
a
cringe.
nightmare of darkness that all Zelda and Mario fans would rather forget. So there you go. He says,
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. Trust me, just go watch the Angry Video Game Nerd coverage of them. That's probably enough to understand just how awful they fucking are. They're complete failures. Failures of storytelling, graphic design, animation, gameplay, especially. They were fucking near unplayable. Anyway, he says, so what went wrong is that they used the script for Wand of Gamelon for the film, and that's I think what we're all terribly afraid of. He says, in his opinion, a Zelda film should be cell animation, possibly rotoscoped. Yes, thank you. I've been saying this since the fucking drop. This should have been an anime or a fucking contemporary Illuminate. What's the company? Universal's, is it Illumination?
Sony.
The same team that made the Mario movie should be making the Zelda movie. That's basically it. That's what I think.
I think that's actually pretty hard to do, especially when Link is
silent. The whole concept is a
silent,
terrible
not
idea.
mute, but silent.
The whole concept of a Zelda movie is a terrible idea because Link is a silent protagonist. He's not really got much of a character. Depending on, like, in the later games, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess and stuff, he displays more actual personality traits. But generally speaking, he's just been a blank canvas.
Generally speaking, he's not generally speaking.
Very good.
The only place where he actually spoke was in like the late 80s during the early 90s when they actually had this short-lived cartoon. It only lasted
please.
Captain Lou Albano.
And
Well,
he-
excuse
yes, Captain Lou Albano, and he would,
Princess.
excuse me, princess.
Yeah.
Was that ever in Japan? That cartoon?
Yes, and we kind of made fun of it.
What did he say in the Japanese version instead of "excuse me, princess"?
It was Sima-san.
It was exactly the same. So was it in
But
English? Or
Very, very sarcastic.
was it redubbed into Japanese?
They had voiceovers.
Oh my god! And so he had a
And it, like,
sarcastic
very shortly
Japanese.
because we didn't like it.
No one liked it. It was terrible. It was fucking awful.
We can agree on that. We can all agree it was terrible.
I think if anybody like thinks the Zelda series was good, they should lose their gamer license immediately. But that's just me. I'm a big Zelda fan. Yeah, so it should be done that way. It shouldn't be. I don't think it should even be live action. I don't think live action is the way to go for any of this, especially if you're trying to build some sort of shared universe, which they haven't acknowledged that they actually are doing. But there's no way they would leave that money on the table if such a thing came to be. If you end up with a Smash Bros movie, for example, which of course a lot of people have already talked about, you need these characters to line up. And why would you make it more difficult for yourself by having to have live action and animation together? It's bonkers. I don't understand it. Anyway, MagesGuild, thank you for the 5 and another 10. Says thank you for your opinion, Mr. BLM. Jesus Christ, he's going after nobody hard. Says you turned this panel into a nightmare to listen to. I don't want to read this. Eris Rhoda hasn't got a word in. You overtalk everyone, including Will. This isn't your show. Marxist troll. Whoa, buddy.
I do want to say something about that. We do have a bit of an issue backstage where everyone keeps timing out and reloading, which is apparently not happening for you guys, which is fantastic. But we actually kind of can't actually hear each other at some points, so it's really not what it's felt.
In any case,
You're kind to say so.
Yeah, that was very graceful of you there, Rhoda. MagesGuild.
Do you need me to read it? I'm used to reading. I'm used to reading fan.
Hey, MagesGuild,
certainly have a
MagesGuild, I will say that I did overstep, but my opinion still stands. I will say overstepped in a lot of different
We
ways.
don't need
but,
to repeat
you know,
it.
my,
Yeah,
but
let's
my
not go
opinion
over it
still
again.
That's
We
it.
don't need
That's
to go
it.
over it.
I'll just leave it
Just
at that.
keep moving forward.
Okay. And
it's done and dusted. We've
MagesGuild
been there, done
having just dropped $25 in 3 chats, I need to lighten the mood a little bit with some
I got
Go
this
100.
new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real setup of donkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big old Tanhangera cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger bunk hanaga hoogs. Humongous hungalamga no logangas.
Thank you. And yeah, we are actually having technical issues. I'm not. Everyone sounds fine to me. For once, it's not me that's having the technical issues, it's everyone else. So a lot of these guys can't hear each other, so that may play a part in some of it. Regardless, your point is taken. Thank you. James up for 5. Oh my god, it's another one. Nobody needs to learn to
It's
wait
okay, I
his
deserve it.
turn. Instead of stepping on everyone, when he wants to make a point, he is as bad as me. I was like that too. I was very much like that when I started, and I got called for it quite a few times. So fair enough.
Nope. James, you're absolutely right. Nope, I did overstep, and
Oof.
that's on me.
We could have done this in a different way, but I appreciate the $5.
Welcome to the nobody intervention on internet etiquette.
Yeah, fuck it hell. It's rough to read these. Mages Guild
I'll
for
take
another
it.
$10 says, I would like to propose that every quid that I super chat becomes 1 minute of mute time whenever he overtalks you or a guest as a method of trading. You'll make bank. I hate this chaos. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant to
And yet
be in
you
charge of either.
donated.
No, I think that's because he likes me. You know, I think he and I have where we're pretty much friends.
You're
you know?
welcome, Will. You're welcome.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, I just felt hypnosed when we said chat. And yeah, sorry, Osaka, what did you just say there?
Oh, I said that everyone really likes you, Will, because you do have a really great show and you bring unique
Oh,
people
thank you.
here.
I just try to, you know, it's not about me. Fuck it. Thank you. Appreciate the compliment. I'm not good at taking compliments, but I try. And if I'm succeeding, then that's fantastic. So thank you.
Well, like when John asked if I wanted to come, I got really happy because I was like looking forward to being on your show again. I had fun talking with you last time when we were talking about Doctor Who, and it was really a really great conversation.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to dive deep, but I also try to cut to the point where possible because I appreciate that people give me their time when they're watching this, and I want to make it valuable for them if I can at all. That's more or less my entire philosophy. Spoilers. So I appreciate that. I really do. And to Mages Guild for the other 10, thank you very much. Let's drop it.
Drop it.
Mages Guild for another $2 says in Wand of Gamelon, Zelda is Link, main character. Oh, right. I honest to God, I could not remember which one was Wand of Gamelon, which one was something of evil. I can't remember. I played them all for a dare like years ago, and I completely forgot all of them. I know one is a side scroller where you play as Link, one is a side scroller where you play as Zelda, and one is a top down where you play as Zelda. So I don't know, primordial wokeness or just tone deaf, clueless devs at Philips who had no idea how to make a fucking video game. Either way, shit show incarnate, no question. And thank you very much for the additional $2. Hypnotic member for 11 months at this point. And by the way, that's Rage Beta level. That's tier 2. So appreciate that.
Moss body?
A mass buddy.
Fuck Hamas. I am not for Hamas. What the fuck?
I think it's because I think it's got something to do with the fact that you're wearing a terrorist balaclava and you won't acknowledge that you're a woman to speak.
Right.
We went after the woman on the panel over and over and over again. Probably something to do with that. It's probably a coincidence, but fuck, that's funny, man. Mass money. Used the entire member chat to say one word too. What a Chad. What a Chad. That's
Beautiful.
amazing. That's amazing. Eris Road, you're in the panel, man, but you still gifted 5 Will of the Fans memberships. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate that. You didn't even, like, I figured that, I'll bring you on the panel, but I didn't expect you to still start, like, keep dropping things like that. But you know what? Thank you very much. Very much indeed. And James Hop for 5 says, we all love you on the show, Osaka Chandol. You bring plenty to it.
Oh, arigato. Thank you. I like being here.
You're welcome anytime, honey. No problem at all.
Yeah.
We like having you as well. Really do.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
Yes, I see it too.
Allahu Akbar.
Akbar indeed.
idea what to fucking say to that.
Thank you for your kind donation.
Thank you for your donation.
Yeah. Well,
Why are you running? Why are you running?
oh well. There was another one
Try to
from
defend me,
James as
Hypnotic.
well.
Try to defend me. I don't care.
What was that?
I said there was also one from James in between.
Was that?
Yep.
The we love you
After
on the show.
Rhoda's.
Yeah, I got that. I
Oh,
read
you
that
did?
already.
Okay, sorry.
I just
sorry.
read that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn off the voice AI and let's see what happens.
Oh my god, man.
Who has a voice?
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's fucking crazy. Oh, Jesus. That was funny. That was funny. Sorry, nobody. I feel like you've taken more than you needed to at this point.
No, I really don't give a shit.
Okay, buddy. I feel bad though. Like, you know.
Feel bad for what?
I don't
didn't say
really
anything
know.
wrong.
Anything is fucking whatever it is. I don't give a shit. Regardless, we have in fact quite a while ago now hit the bar being filled, which means it's John o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. Assume the position.
Yeah.
Come here, baby. Let me show something good. Something good. Something good. Something
Oh no. Again.
Bro, I
Again.
gave so many opportunities for you, Will, and you still land on John.
Yeah, but
it's the
I
John
can't
meme now.
interrupt the clip with you. The clip has to finish. I saw you though. I saw what you were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
It's the John meme. You know?
It's the John meme because he just sort of like.
I'm
And
in
the
my
joke,
happy
of
place.
course, is the fact that when I was editing that, I found that I was grinning like a moron as well. So it just shows how basic we all are, really, as men. Osaka-chan probably is well aware of this.
Yeah,
Oh,
I grew up
biological
with brothers, so
instinct.
yeah.
Say what, there?
I said I grew up with
Biological
brothers, so yeah. Every
instinct.
time my friends, my brothers had those same googly grins.
It's weird, isn't it? When a lady with big boobs smiles at you, you're like, fucking weird. A married man, and it still works. Oh well, there you go. I guess
I'm one of the
doesn't-
girls with those really big boobs that are naturally that
I was
big.
gonna I was gonna
So,
say I had the
I
same
got lots of looks.
response. Yeah,
Oh,
I had
wow.
the same response when Osaka sent me a photo of her cosplay of Snow White last month in May. So it's just
And this is available where?
nowhere. it's my private collection. Nobody is
I
allowed to
see.
be anywhere near it.
I see. I see. Well, on that bombshell, Dragon Age, the Veil Guard, has been completely and totally fail hard. And yeah, we can just basically have a bit of fun riffing on this. This is like a legacy topic of the show. The show kind of cut its teeth on this as a topic. It's sad that Ryan's not here. Spears out for Athe, of course.
The first time you and I
but,
did a show together, just you and I, was the day this game released.
That's right. Yeah, it was the day that Ryan was waiting for it and he couldn't make it. It was just me and you talking about it. Yeah,
on Halloween Day.
that's right. That's right. I guess Ryan was out scaring kids instead or something. I don't fucking know. Whatever. Anyway, so we've had this article, and this has come from fucking hell. Get off my screen. This has come from Jason Goddamn Schreier, of all people. This fucking guy, this corporate shill, this absolute loser, who did everything he possibly could to cheer for this game. He's the guy who made the tweet, by the way, the Get Woke go to the top of the charts to own the chuds. And it's funny, really, isn't it? Because every single time one of these assholes comes out and tries to own the chuds, they're only ever 3 to 6 months, let's say, away from acknowledging that the chuds were right.
Yep.
Because we're always right. You know why we're always right? Because we're the customer.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're not the hacktivists that are trying to appropriate things. We're the ones
Exactly.
that actually need to be relied upon.
We're the ones who
Possibility.
decide how much something is going to work or not work by virtue of whether or not we are willing to open our wallets for it. And of course, we were not. And Dragon Age Veilguard was a complete and total catastrophe. The studio is basically non-existent anymore. Every single person associated with the game has gone. Some of them landed on their webbed feet. Some of them haven't. It is what it is. Inside the Dragon Age debacle that gutted EA's BioWare studio. My, how the tables have fucking turned. Et tu, Schreier. So he says, in early November, on the eve of the crucial holiday shopping season, staffers at the video game studio BioWare were feeling optimistic. Well, yes, because you and your ilk had made sure that they would feel optimistic by lying to them and blowing smoke up their asses for months and months and months and months and months. Exactly.
Yeah.
After an excruciating development cycle, what was it? 9 years. 9 years.
10 years,
Only about 3 of which were actually spent working on this iteration of the game. Everything else just got shit canned. It was supposed to be a live service. It was supposed to be an MMO at one point.
Yep.
It all binned in favor of fucking Dragon Age trans ideology.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is what it is, isn't it? It's a God of War ripoff. It's a Temu God of War.
Mm-hmm.
And with trans ideology.
Yep.
That no matter what David Jaffe wants to say, you cannot opt out of, because you have to meet the character of Tash and listen to her wank on about being non-binary.
Yeah, it's not even about the main
nauseam.
character. It's like about you're the ally who goes on this journey with this crazy trans character that everybody has to be just beholden to their stunning
You're not
bravery.
even the main character.
Yeah.
You're not the character in the game. You're there as the handler.
The witness.
Which is why I loved all those montage videos that came out. I think Hypno did one as well, of just all the ways that the characters can die.
Yep.
And most of them is the Tash deaths.
Yep.
Tash is one of the most detestable characters ever.
Ever in gaming history, I would say, quite literally, yeah.
Definitely. After an exclusive development cycle, they had finally released their latest game, Dragon Age The Veilguard, and the early reception was largely positive.
No, it wasn't.
HIV positive?
I can tell you I was there. It wasn't.
I was there too. I was there on release night.
Yeah.
I was there watching Hypno make fucking McDuggins, the original.
If you watch Hypno, I will sell my left testicle.
Go back to that October 31st episode that we did on this show with Will and I, and yeah, there was day one. It was easy to just be unkind to it and call it out for exactly what it was. I mean,
the player numbers
it was
were
not
pathetic.
a good launch at all.
No. What did it cap out about 80,000?
Something.
Which sounds good, but with the amount of people that play on PC these days, is like something like 60% of gamers have a PC for gaming now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really awful number, and of course doesn't factor in Game Pass and stuff like that. So you say the reception was largely positive. I say,
You liar!
Indeed.
the role-playing game was topping sales charts on Steam.
No, it wasn't.
You liar!
And solid, if not spectacular, reviews were rolling in.
No, they weren't.
You liar!
Yeah, it's utter bullshit. But in the weeks that followed, the early buzz cooled as players delved deeper. It really wasn't that long. It really wasn't.
Yeah.
It was the weekend.
They knew before
The
Christmas
only reason
season.
why it did a little bit well was because the people buying the game didn't know that was in the game. They were in love with the series, of Dragon Age, and they were expecting a continuation, not this.
Yeah, they knew
And
by
so
the
when they
Christmas
got it, they
season.
wanted their money back.
Yeah,
Are they going to report on how many people filed for a refund?
Right. No, and that's the thing is they knew by the Christmas season because it was 105 days if I remember correctly, from the day that it released on October 31st and on Halloween, and within by Christmas they had to know because they ended up making that the free to play game. What was it for January on PSN?
Yeah,
it was like 105 days later. It was insane.
They tried to push it for free,
it was
and
January,
nobody wanted
February.
it.
And so, yeah, because I made such a point about like actually calculating out.
It's like 100 days after it came out or something.
Yeah, I think it was 104, 105 days, somewhere right there from the day that it released. And it's like, that doesn't happen with a successful title ever.
No,
It's the shortest period of time that a AAA title has ever gone from being, premium release to on PSN, and please take this game so that we can get some kind of stipend from Sony.
Awful.
Yeah.
Abysmal. So, I mean, obviously, he's running interference even after he's now having to admit that the game is done, it's dead, it's felted, the studio's fucked. But anyway, it didn't take weeks. It says the early buzz cooled as players delved into the fantasy world and some BioWare employees grew anxious. This is not what happened. For months, everyone at the subsidiary of the video game publisher Electronic Arts, blah, 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 intense pressure. Previous two games, Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem, flopped. Well, they were never meant to make Anthem. That's not what the studio's for. And there were rumors that if Dragon Age underperformed, BioWare might become another of EA's many casualties. Not long after Christmas, the bad news surfaced. EA announced in January that the new Dragon Age had only reached 1.5 million players, missing the company's expectations by 50%. Bullshit. Bullshit. The number that was being kicked around was 10 million. They were expecting they were expecting 8 million to 10 million.
Yep, because of the success that they had on the second game, Origins, right?
The first game was Origins, the second one was
right.
well, then there was a DLC for Origins, which was Awakening. Then it was Dragon Age 2, which didn't do so well, but Inquisition was the third official title. And that was the one that really blew up and did really well.
And they thought that people would just pile on and go along with because, familiar branding and nostalgia, and this is going to be and that's where
ultra cynical.
Yeah. Like, people just lap this up because it's got this label branding on it. We can do whatever we want. We can use it as a vehicle for all this identity, agenda politics, and we can just get away with it because people are thick.
Exactly.
Don't
So
work
an
that
EA BioWare game,
We've
that
grown
only
out
got-
of that. They can't jeep us like that anymore. We make our own decisions. Thank you
It's
very
almost
much.
like gamers learned pattern recognition and are utilizing it against the very people that we learned it from.
Yeah, we're
pretty much. Yeah,
good.
it's
at
funny,
that.
really.
Yeah, get fucked, corpos.
Missing the company's expectation by 50%. Bullshit. The holiday performance of another company, recently released title, EA Sports FC 2025, was also subpar, confounding the problem. I remember when they tried to blame it on fucking poor FIFA sales. I remember that. It was cringe. It was cringe. They had to do like their quarterly report, and it was like everything's gone terribly, terribly wrong. And they mentioned Dragon Age Veilguard like once, and then FC 2025 a bunch of times. And that FC 2025, people are getting tired of recycled sports games, but they were very tired of woke shit in their fantasy escapist media. There's no way that FC 2025 represents as big a gulf in expectations as Veilguard. No way. Let's just cope again. As a result of the struggling titles, EA Chief Executive Officer Andrew Wilson, soon to be Disney CEO, if you believe the rumors, explained the company would be significantly lowering its sales forecast for the fiscal year ahead. EA share price promptly plunged 18%. Fuck. That's huge. That's a huge amount. Like, it doesn't sound huge as a standalone number, but it is. It's colossal. It's a massive, massive drop in share price. Dragon Age had a high quality launch and was well received by critics and those who played. No, it was well received by critics because they were incentivized to receive it well.
And they were
However,
part of the
it did
access
not-
media that get
Exactly.
all these baubles and wonderful things for falling right in line and effectively just being paid shills.
Yep. Did not resonate with a broad enough audience in this highly competitive market. Days after the sales revision, EA laid off a chunk of BioWare's staff at the studio's headquarters in Edmonton, Canada, and permanently transferred many of the remaining workers to other divisions. For the storied 30-year-old game maker, it was a stunning fall that left many fans wondering how things had gone so haywire. No, you see, it didn't, because the fans are the people who pay attention, and the people who pay attention knew months in advance that this was going to happen.
The only people that are stunned about this at this point are that same shill media that gave it glowing reviews and now are like, oh, but I thought we were the tastemakers. No, you're there to report things. That's why modern journalism doesn't work. You try to do spin control and narrative design on all this shit rather than actually, being a journalist and letting the story play out. You try to force a fucking narrative.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's like someone like John enlightens you a lot to the point that we check our resources, right? And our DMs and all that jazz.
Anybody who does this knows that we are not taken seriously at all. So we have to try and make sure that we're taken seriously as possible by making sure that we do the research. And we read the room.
A bad stigma against gamers from certain types of journalists who like to portray gamers as being stupid or naive because all you do is play games. That's what they think. But gamers in general are some of the most smartest and creative people out there, because you're learning how to do strategy. You're learning hand-eye coordination just by watching the screen. And we're the generation who grew up with the first, consoles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to be the first ones to, when we get old in the nursing homes, to actually be playing games still, even when we're elderly. And the thing is, they want to portray us as stupid, but they forget we play games for hours on end. So when something's not right, we're going to call it out. And we're going to let our friends know this is stupid. We don't want our friends.
Imagine working in an industry.
40 hours on a game, that's garbage. That's going to cost you close to $100.
Yeah, it's like if you're like a Olga Deer TV or something like that, right?
I really want to land on what you were saying about hand-eye coordination, because my dad used to be a driving instructor, and he saw me playing Sega Rally on the Saturn, and he thought that was really, really good for me to learn how to drive a car. Like, I mean,
my
I was
dad,
11 when that came out.
My dad, when I was first driving, saw me a couple of times and was like, damn, your reflexes are fast. Then when I hadn't driven for several years, and we got a car here in the Philippines, and I was the principal driver because, well, he's old as fuck, and some of these winding hill roads that they've got here going around mountains and shit terrified the life out of him, and I just dealt with them. I was just like, what's wrong? He's like, man,
that sounds like
you should have been a rally driver. I'm like, well, yeah, this is great, and it's a small car too, so I can turn on a dime, like, and none of it. And I realized, even consciously in my own brain, that like hundreds of hours of GTA had prepared my brain and my reflexes, if not my muscle memory, for driving well before I actually got a car. Ever. I mean, even as a teenager.
Nintendo picked up on this quickly about the hand-eye coordination and actually sparking the electrodes in your brain. And so that's why they came up with several of the, brainasium games?
Brain training and stuff.
But it was specifically meant to help the elderly with dementia.
Yes.
And they used it a lot here in the nursing homes here in Japan, and it helped improve a lot of their lives. Like, they started to actually recall things and remember things because they were playing the very first Switch and stuff. And
I completely agree with that. I mean, like, the brain is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the better it'll work.
Absolutely. And that more or less was the exact slogan or selling point of the brain training, the Dr. Kawashima brain training games that came out on the DS. They're great. They're fantastic.
I had one.
Yes, they were.
They really are. But you know, it's there's a lot of things that society hasn't expected to come out of video games. Another element of it is the spirit of rebellion that comes out of playing games where you typically, as a gamer, have toppled empires and gods and stuff, you know, almost always as the underdog.
Yep.
And that certainly has got some part to play in all of this as well, I think.
Quite honestly, yeah.
Real quick, Osaka-chan, is that actually your real voice?
Yes.
Then who's this?
Who's what?
Your same channel, the first video you ever uploaded. Who's
Yeah, that was me on a really bad microphone. That's me.
Yeah,
that's you.
And you also
Yeah.
have to you also have to remember, like, when she's here on the show, she's here on the show. When she's doing Osaka-chan,
Yeah.
Osaka-chan's a character.
Yeah,
And you heard me.
I do
you
not.
heard me argue with you.
No,
if
no,
I had
no.
a voice
No, I'm
morpher,
done.
it would have
I'm
clipped
done.
and
I
messed
do not
up.
trust anything that she says. I'm done. Bye.
Okay, bye.
And that was
I
that.
didn't do anything.
So,
And I thought he said he wasn't going to watch my channel. Does that mean he just
He's
lied?
trying to get a gotcha on you for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Okay, so
Anyway,
the very
hi,
first
Osaka.
video I
we
did
all
5
like you.
years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
I can tell you, as somebody who actually has seen Osaka do her process, she's actually, like, you know, does all of these things. But anyway, moving on.
Several reasons behind the failure, including marketing misfires, poor word of mouth, and a 10-year gap since the previous title. Above all, sources point to the rebooting of the product from a single-player game to a multiplayer one and then back again. A switcheroo that muddled development and inflated the title's budget, they say, ultimately setting the stage for EA's potentially unrealistic sales expectations. A spokesperson for EA declined to comment. Yeah, poor word of mouth, abso-fucking-lutely. 10-year gap, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Let's just look at the Half-Life 3 example. I mean, if Half-Life 3 came out tomorrow, the internet would explode.
Mm-hmm.
It would,
yeah,
it
and
would,
that's what I was gonna say a minute ago before all that stuff happened. Is, like, you know, it's what's going on currently, to the point that you had made. You know, as gamers, I think that we are uniquely qualified to rise to the challenge to actually putting these you know, this corporatist globalist mindset you know, out on Front Street and doing everything we can to undermine it, because of the way that it's trying to, you know, undermine and overwhelm us with everything that it says, thinks, and does on the surface. That's completely full of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, full of shit. Absolutely, at every point. Anyway, so I just don't think that Jason Schreier is actually making a point here. He's trying desperately to make a point. He's written an article that's basically admitting that this was a failure, right? But as always, he's doing the media bullshit thing of desperately attempting to run interference, run defense, run every fucking play he can think of to mitigate the failure.
I think when it comes down to it, he's writing words because he's paid to write words. I don't think he's even formed a bloody opinion.
No, I don't think he has. I think he's just literally seething. I think that's what this is. It's a gigantic seethe. He's just writing this article to basically try to do some damage control to his reputation, because he really got behind this fucking game and he got completely humiliated for it. And so he's no one would revisit this subject now. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like when someone drudges up some argument they lost years later trying to get a gotcha. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's coping and seething, and it ultimately just makes you look more ridiculous the more you obsess over this one particular thing.
Right.
Just stop. Just take the fucking L. And
Yeah,
get
an L.
the fuck out.
An L can be either a loss or it can be a lesson. And if you don't learn from it, that's when it's a loss. Otherwise,
Yeah.
fucking nut up and like, go on with your life and actually gain some character and personality from the situation and do better because you've actually learned something.
This goes on forever. I'll probably cover it more tomorrow for hyperdrive time. But the point here is, did somebody at Bloomberg ask him to write this? Or did he just go?
Well, that's exactly what I was saying. That's not somebody giving an opinion. That's someone who's been paid to write something.
Yeah, I was gonna say this reads more like something that is part of Access
But
Media.
did they tell him what to write about? Because I don't think so.
No.
I think that they said, we need an article from you. So he's like, right, I'm still fucking so goddamn fucking angry about Veilguard. And being humiliated and embarrassed.
I don't think anybody at Bloomberg would give two shits about this unless they were getting money from, BioWare themselves, and I don't think BioWare really has the money to do that at the moment.
No. So I'm trying to think, because I always like to try and think
I
behind.
suppose what it might be is this tangential, because this is an article that came out this month, right? In June. And so
This is
I think
fairly
this,
new, I think.
Yeah. So this, I think, might be a virtue signal article itself. It's like, oh, well, this game was, it was undermined by the chuds, and I want to show that, I'm cool and I'm an ally.
Nobody, you need to knock it off. I don't know what your grudge is against me, why you've been targeting me this whole entire show, being rude and disrespectful to me. Are you jealous that I'm here? That I'm like, what? I have not said anything cruel about you. I have not picked on you. I've not said anything about your voice or your face or anything. And it's really unprofessional of you to keep kind of doing this.
Yeah, bro.
Like, what do you want, a doggy treat?
This is weird, man.
This is quite the crash out.
Yeah, I don't really understand how this happened at all. It was bizarre. But anyway, so yeah, the point I'm trying to make with this is the motive isn't there. Like, why would you write this article? Surely Bloomberg don't care about Dragon Age Veilguard enough to ask you for a Dragon Age Veilguard article. So you're just writing this because you can't handle losing.
Yeah. I
You're
think he's trying to
still
prove his
clinging
ally
to
points.
this, like miles after the fact. You are still fucking furious that you were embarrassed, humiliated because you doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on this irrelevant fucking point. And at the end of the day, you just look like dumber and more salty and pathetic and copy the longer you continue to just keep this fucking shit going. The game was a failure. You hitched your wagon to it. Nobody told you to. You did because you thought you were being a good little stooge, a good little puppet, and you lost. You looked stupid. You got egg on your face, and you can't let go. Let it fucking go. For God's sake, man. It's pathetic at this point. Does anyone have anything else to add, or should we wrap this up?
No, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head with this article. Yeah, they try to like glorify it and make it seem like it was this great massive success and that it was us gamers who ruined it. It's like, no, it's the other way around. It's the people who produced this game that ruined it for the gamers.
Yeah. Absolutely. They ruined the franchise with their ideology. The gamers rejected it. They lost. Everybody who vouched for it lost. Everybody associated with it looks pathetic and stupid. And if they continue to try and go down the rabbit hole of, oh, well, this is why, months and months after the fact, it just makes them look more pathetic with every single move they make. And there you go. That's the media. Deal with it. It is fun, though, watching them felt themselves over and over again. Like, this is pathetic. Jason Schreier is pathetic. He's a worm. And there you go. That'll do. That's it. I've had enough of this.
Yeah, it's been a weird thing. I need to get private messages now, and it's just like, oh, God.
Yeah, I'm just tired of this now. So
I'm
let's
sorry about all of this, though. I really
Say what?
am.
It's not
I'm sorry about all of this.
Sucker, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do a damn thing
No,
wrong.
no, you didn't.
Not a single thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not being like a simp here. I'm being objective. You didn't do anything wrong. You just, for some reason,
If I get attacked like that, and which he did, it's like I'm not gonna sit there and take it. Like,
I genuinely
No.
don't know what the hell was wrong today. I don't know. It's not normally like that.
Yeah,
And
it's,
then
I mean,
because
like as Mages was saying, I couldn't get a word in edgeways either. I mean, I'm not going to make accusations, but I think something was up.
I think those 12 pages are kind of, you know.
I think there's a lot to take when that happens to a person.
Yeah.
To be as kind as I can.
I mean, I hope the guy's okay.
Yeah, me too.
I hope the guy's okay. But
Yeah, I
but
do
no,
too.
Osaka, you did nothing wrong at all. You've been absolutely lovely, and we've loved having you on.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
yeah,
Would you like to
I'm
tell?
really happy I got to be here, and I'm really glad you did cover the Veilguard stuff, because like I feel like not enough people talked about it. So it was really good to see that you actually like read the article and like, no, this is not true.
Oh, we're never going to stop.
Oh yeah.
Veilguard is a cornerstone of this show. Ryan made sure of that before he got felted and taken off the end of fucking YouTube by certain people. And you know, I'll always talk about it because I know how passionately he cares about it and how fucking furious he was and what a big fan he was of the franchise. It's not dead, for fuck's sake, well, of the franchise. And so, yeah,
I mean, there are differences, but we can agree like what they did to that game was wrong.
Yeah, they did. They ruined the franchise. They like they do with everything else. They just take this thing that already has an audience, and then they decide that now is the time to push a hardline, anti-human, alien ideology into it, and assume that they'll be able to convert a few people to their derangement by pumping their brains full of this sludge. But the reality is, unless you studied the same gender studies bullshit that they did, you're going to reject this wholesale because it is nonsense. And that will always be the case. But there you go. Let's do some outros. Osaka-chan, would you like to tell people where they can find you and what you're all about?
So you can find me on my YouTube channel, Osaka-chan Hao. I tell ghost stories, Japanese urban legends. I write majority of my stories. Sometimes I also read out stories that my subscribers have sent to me. I also do facts about Japan, like most haunted places to visit, or best festivals to go to, or the top 10 best Japanese foods. I also make my own music, and I do cite my sources in my description. I also have a merch store, and I'm trying to get monetized. I got 402 subscribers last time I checked, so hopefully I get 500.
Easily my favorite actual creator on YouTube space, because she does like so many things. Awesome.
Awesome.
So yeah,
guys.
you can personally ask John right there. He's personally seen me. He's heard me practice and write my songs. He's actually witnessed me singing my songs. I even sang one in the bathtub.
Yeah. She sends me.
I was close though. I had clothes on. I just needed the acoustics.
Yeah. But, no. She sends me the scripts to her videos and things like that. I will say, I hope I'm not, giving away too much information, but Osaka's got, a little bit of a difficulty reading. And so, when she speaks, it's fluid. But also, the name of the channel is Osaka-chan Doll because she's the essence of magic inhabiting a doll. And so it's supposed to be kind of, beyond human. So some people don't understand the difference between a character and the person behind the character. But Osaka-chan is an amazing character.
But, like for me,
and an amazing person.
But what he was saying, like a lot of people don't know about me. Like growing up, I was very, very abused, like extremely abused. And when it came to like reading out loud or speaking aloud, I used to get extremely bad panic attacks where I couldn't breathe, I vomit, and it is because of the anxiety of everything, the trauma. And so I had to get help to even get this far to even speak in public. Like, so I stay very private. I keep a lot of my stuff private. And so, yeah, I use my time and my creativity to draw or to write stories, but I never shared it until other people read it and they're like, you really should share this on YouTube. So that's why I became a Vivaroid.
Yeah, and it's good that you do that. Everybody should enjoy what they do. And that's one of the reasons we come here in the first place. So, guys, go support Osaka Chandol. MagesGuild told me already that he's definitely going to follow
Do
you.
it.
Yeah, she's
Arigato,
Guys,
thank you.
yeah, it's been a pleasure, dear. Sorry about all the BS, but let's push that bit behind us and move on to the end. Rhoda, what's up, buddy?
I'm all good. I'm going to have a couple of days off. I'm off up to London to see Pulp, which is like my favorite band since I was a little child. So I'm really, really fucking excited about that. I cannot wait. I've seen them in their hometown. I've seen them all around the country, but this is at the O2, which is arguably the best venue in our country, as shit as our country is. So yeah, absolutely buzzing about that. I've got 4 music videos in the works. 3 of them are going to be on YouTube and Rumble. 1 of them is going to be Rumble exclusive because of lyrical content. And what else? Yeah, apart from that, from Tuesday onwards, I'll be back to normal. Well, Monday onwards, I'll be back to normal. Mario Monday / Mega Drive Monday, whichever side the coin flips, and Tomb Raider Tuesday. And I will try and squeeze in a Final Fantasy VII stream whenever I can.
Nice.
That's about the size of it. I'll be on here as much as I can, as much as you want me. So, and also Ryan's show on Wednesdays over on Rumble. Yeah,
Lovely.
I think that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all bloody busy. John, what you got?
Elle, as you know, I'm here with you throughout the week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. We'll be here again for the second part of our memorial for this bullshit that was the Disney experimentation on Doctor Who at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific this Sunday. Of course, I'm also going to be with the Toasty later today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific for we do well, it's always the same show, but we call it G Squad on Thursdays, and then of course Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday as well for Latina Candy with Sonia Lisette. That's our special show. We're going to be shifting that one to where it's like an every other kind of week thing, so that her and Sonia can also do game streams on Sonia's channel. And then other than that, coming up on the 1-year anniversary for the Weekend Culture over on Honey Badger Arcade, which you can watch at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on Saturday mornings. But yeah, it's been a weird, crazy, wild show today. Thank you, everyone in the chat, and of course, all you wonderful people here on the panel today. It was a weird one. But with that said,
What's interesting?
Yeah, safe travels ahead. Have a wonderful week going forward. Be awesome as always.
Yeah. Another one in the books, guys. Thank you for watching. Rough as it was in parts, it's been a pretty good show overall, and appreciate everybody, of course, on the panel, everybody in the chat, and of course everybody who super chatted, including right at the end here, Rio using a member chat for 5 months membership. To say nobody's claim about Osaka Chandol is invalid. All right, and that is. I haven't looked, so I couldn't weigh in, but fair enough. Yeah, I don't have any reason to have skepticism about Osaka Chandol. I don't know what the hell was up with nobody. But
He's posting a video I shared on my YouTube channel saying my very first video when I'm actually reading scary stories to tell in the dark. And at that time, I had a broken microphone. I was in a very, very different apartment.
Yeah.
So it echoed a lot. It cracked a lot. You had feedback. It was just a very bad recording setup. And like I said, it was like 5 or 6 years ago I made the video, not when I uploaded it. And so it's just like, yeah, my Vroid isn't even the same. So it's like, okay, what are you trying to say?
You don't have to prove anything to me.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry too much about it. All he's really doing today is kind of showing a side of himself that's probably not good for his long-term viability. 90 days to getting to be, to the point that he's at might be a bit much, and that's why I tried to tell him yesterday openly on X that, hey, dude, mind that internet brain, and
yeah,
keep your focus on your intentions, not silly numbers or whatever the hell is
And
got
he was
you.
being mean to me before he even seen my videos. And then he's like, I'm never going to watch your effing videos. And then he's like, oh, look at this link. Like, didn't you just said you weren't going to look at my videos?
I mean,
I don't really understand what the hell happened there, man. It just went crazy. Fucking nonsense.
Why would
In any
anyone
case,
not like you anyway? I mean, you're
I
sweet.
don't know.
Sorry.
I don't know what the
Sorry
hell
if that sounds
happened.
misogynistic, but you're sweet.
Thank you. You're very kind.
How's that misogynist? It's not. So, anyway, there you go. Anyway, it is what it is. Thank you very much, Rio. Okay, so thank you also to TJAP Steve, DramaticaLaur, Anime Mania 500, TJAP Steve again, Furious Dan a whole bunch of times, MagesGuild, God, loads of times, Fanny Startup Spamfish, MagesGuild, TJAP Steve again, James Op, MagesGuild a bunch more times, James Op again, Hypnotic, fucking hell, man, you broke me, we'll cut some of them.
Yeah.
Eris Rhoda for the five, thank you, and Rio as well for the last chat there. Yeah, there was a big crash out, and I can't be bothered to talk about it anymore. It is what it is. What's done is done. See how it goes. Guess you just gotta
Remember what I was saying about L's?
Yeah.
Hope this is a lesson today, and not a
Yeah.
you know, not a loss. So
Nah, not just
there you
for
go.
not just for him, for everybody.
Exactly.
I will be back in 7 hours' time with Hyperdrive Time. I am going to be talking a little bit about the bullshit attacks on the Expedition 33 guys, as well as the Dragon Age Veilguard garbage that we were just dipping our toe into. A little bit Doctor Who, a little bit this, a little bit of that, a little bit woo, a little bit way, a little bit all that stuff. You know what I'm about. Come check it out, and I will appreciate you for it. Thank you so much, guys, for filling the bar. It really does help. And I've been updating the Give, Send, Go because there was a little bit of a problem with it for a day or so. No point going into it, but I have corrected it. And nothing to do with the money, just the shit that was displayed on screen that I didn't want. And now it's all good again. If you would like to go and help support the effort to get Dad of the Fans some quality of life, that would be much appreciated. As for me, as I said, I'll be back again later, but until then, I will leave you with the outro credits. Thank you for surviving the stream, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
Later out.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Scooby Pop. Appreciate you. And we're doing our best. Take care. See you later.